All right, what's up, stream? Welcome to episode 105, the live stream. And I'm rejiggering my pop filter here, so you'll have to bear with me for just a moment. I'm going to turn my mic off, and we'll play that bitchin' intro from Jordan Green one more time. How about that? Well, once again, that gets to be tonight's solution to the sound pop filter. Because I hate the way that I have my boom pitched in to the desk here. Of course, we're going to be getting some different furniture. My father-in-law is coming into town tomorrow, so we're going to be getting some new furniture here. So I'm going to have to rearrange everything, and then hopefully I'll be able to come up with a better setting for this stupid thing. But since I glance the microphone anyway, I don't talk directly into it. I typically avoid popping pretty much all the time anyway. Welcome to the stream, Dan, John DeQuilla, and Jared Taylor. Thank you guys all very, very much for joining us already. And is Justin on Skype yet? Where are you, Justin? Where you at, sucker? Uh-oh. I'm going to have to friggin' message him. Uh-oh. Oh, the latest version of Skype is ready to install. Go fuck yourself. If you're going to give me that garbage that comes with Windows 10. How is it going, everybody in the live stream? Everybody ready to review Baby Driver? And I'm going to talk briefly about The House and Despicable Me 3. Yeah, I would just like to have like the pop filter like right here. It would be nice if I could just have it literally as just kind of an additional barrier. Because otherwise, I mean, like I said, I talk straightforward, just glancing with the microphone off to the side. YouTube chat is set in the stream. So how's everybody doing? It's Saturday night. It's a little bit different of a night for us to be recording, so thrilled to be here. Or something. Alright, let's put the word out, folks. What do you think? Let's put the word out. Let's get somebody in here to bug Dan. There he is, that rat. That stinking, filthy rat.
The rats are in their crate, their cage. I'm no rat.
I'm no rat.
I'm no rat.
Who's there to rat to anyway?
That's right.
Yes. Happy 4th of July to everybody in the live stream. Thank you very much.
I just made up a now live graphic for us in the live stream. If you want to use it, I'm going to post it into the group in a minute.
I just threw one up on Twitter.
You asshole! I made it specific to the movie we're talking about.
Well, where is it? Is it in the drive?
No, I can put it in the drive if you want.
Well, I guess.
whatever. At least you'll have it if you want to repost it, later on or something, like as we're getting ready.
I ain't
but that's what
nothing, I reckon.
But these are what I post on Instagram when we're on time and we're live and stuff.
Dan, when you're watching Independence Day all day on the 4th of July, please make sure you're standing and just giving the Bill Pullman speech every time. I want to hear it live from your mouth.
It's insane to think that last year we had a new Independence Day movie to be excited about. Then we watched it.
Where's L-L-L-LoySauce? Uh-oh, I see the wife.
Yeah, I told her to get out of there.
There she is. Everybody see her in the kitchen? She's scooping something. Scoop it. Oh, it's peanut butter or something. She's putting it on a... Looks like a coaster. Is she putting it on a coaster?
I don't know what it is. She likes those stupid rice cake things.
It looks like a coaster, so it's probably a rice cake. I see Kaya, too.
Yep, LoySauce is online. We might as well bring him in.
Have a golden day. Hi, Danielle. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get him in here. Oh, it's a cracker. It looks like she had in there.
I don't know. It's something that tastes like crap to me.
LoySauce. Is LoySauce not my Skype friend? Am I just realizing this now after...
He should be.
How many times he's been on the episode? Oof. All right, get him in here. Yeah, you can definitely say that again, John Niquilla. God, what a garbage pile of a movie that was. Oh, my God. All right. And once again, live streamers, the ambient music you're hearing is Lucas King, Dark Music for Dark Thoughts. The link's in the description, so check him out on YouTube and throw a sub his way if you are so inclined. Just some quiet, nice ambient music. Wait a minute. What is Skype?
It's like slasher music. It's literally slasher music.
Do I want to accept Brian Loy's video? It's just his ceiling. Why do I want to see that? I'm going to add Brian Loy as a friend now because, like I said, I just realized I hadn't had him as a friend this whole time.
Is he going to start off with check, sound check? I'm pretty sure he's going to.
He doesn't have to, Justin. I've got it covered.
Check, sound.
See? There we go. I love how he's got his camera aimed up at him, like he's looking down on us peons from the realm of podcasting land.
I am the god. I am the king of podcasting.
That is true. That is very, very true. Let's see.
Check, sound check.
There we go.
It sounds familiar.
No. Oh, right.
Yeah, that is me.
The sauce is on the floor. What?
I'm here to fuck shit up.
La 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 la. Now live. I guess I'll repost this tweet. LoySauce, did you have any other new trailers you wanted to talk about this week? In epic previews.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
I didn't even watch the one that you're talking about. I saw that Brentley had posted it, but
we're gonna watch it in the stream during the show, so you can watch it then. Or
all I know is it looks like Oscar bait for Andrew Garfield.
You don't even know what you're talking about, Justin. Andrew Garfield's not in this film.
Oh, I thought it was a different movie that we were going to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Oh, it's the only other trailer that I saw that anyone posted this last week, so I don't even
Oh,
know.
you're talking about the Andy Serkis.
Yeah, the Andy Serkis film. Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't watched that yet, actually, but I've been meaning to.
Oh, never mind. I don't feel like we need to talk about more than one trailer. I mean, we can if you want to, but
I'm fine with
it's totally
the
up to
one.
you.
I am also fine with the one.
How's that margarita?
Dude, I'm kind of drunk.
I expect you to have beer on the show.
Drunk
so
sauce is best sauce.
Don't be slacking just because you had that margarita at dinner.
Dude, it was huge.
LoySauce had a giant margarita.
I did.
Let's see, Dan Brennick, Saucy, I'll buy you a fucking desk, dude.
I do need a desk. Actually, you know what? I got a desk for my birthday. I just need to set it up.
Justin, go over to his house. You're mechanically inclined. Go over there and build LoySauce's desk.
No, it's
I've never been to the McAllister house. I've never been there. I've never been invited to the McAllister house. I've only dropped him off in front of the McAllister house.
it ain't no McAllister house.
Dude, it looks just like one of the houses from John Hughes movies, particularly McAllister house because it's brick.
Oh, that's perfect.
All right.
That is
Yeah, I
perfect.
mean it's a pretty big house, but it's not like a mansion.
Close
It's not like-
enough, bro.
It's not a McAllister mansion.
John DeQuilla, you
Speak-
can rock a cigar anytime you want. Oh, Emily's on Mark's account. Welcome to the live stream.
Welcome to the live stream, friends.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to the show.
Check. Sound check.
Who's that asshole?
Someone that sounds a lot more put together than you do right now.
Justin.
That Margarita's still talking.
Justin,
No,
guess what
you
I
know
added
what?
to the soundboard finally?
Let's hear it.
Brother.
Good. We're moving along here. We're moving along. I'm happy with this.
Man, I got to try to use the smattering of applause sound effect less this week because I used it like 1,000 times last week.
Nick, I love you and I love the soundboard. You use the smattering of applause sound effect
Oh, I know.
way too much.
And that one needs to be replaced by something. We need to get Dan to do something else though, like to replace it because it's
the
it's worn
genius
itself
of
out.
that one was spontaneous. It wasn't just Dan did it as planned. That was just spontaneous. It just happened
Okay.
randomly.
We'll just sit around and record Dan all day just yelling at stuff, and then you'll get something good to use.
I mean, that wouldn't take long. Just let's play
Exactly.
Player
That's
Unknown's
what I'm saying.
Battlegrounds with Bill for like
because I'm
5
sick of
minutes
it,
and he'll
Dan.
start
That's
yelling.
why. I'm sick of it, and it's overdone. That's why.
You Pikel,
Keep
you're
it fresh,
a piece
man.
of shit.
Yeah, and
I
that
tried-
one too.
I purposely tried to make sure I was going to cycle in some new sound clips onto the board this week. I've got all my other intro outro stuff on here. I added a special sound bite or two.
Nah, medium
that'll be
rare,
used
dude.
later.
Oh, hold on. I want to see Poda. Let's show Poda the live stream.
Oh, Poe. Look how cute.
Aw, yeah.
Precious baby.
This one's the rascal. He's bad.
That actually is a good idea for the. That's a good idea for a poll for the Facebook group, Emily. I've got a couple more polls that actually have to go up on the Facebook group that I just didn't have a chance to put up yet. Including, actually, one that I'll talk about in the episode when we actually run it today. So, that'll be good. And the Man Spielberg month has officially started.
I need to clean my room, damn.
You got to do something,
Yeah,
boy.
you do.
I got to post this on Instagram. Let's
Ain't
see if we
nobody
can
like
get some...
Kevin. Did you post it on Facebook or no?
Yeah, I did already.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, cool. I threw it up all over the place on Twitter. All right, well, let's play some. Let me. I'm gonna play this intro again because I love this intro from Jordan Green, and we'll plug him again during the show.
Oh,
But I
let
just
me go grab a beer real quick. You're rushing me here.
I'm
We're
not
only
playing
21
the- I'm
minutes.
not playing the intro. I'm just gonna play the track while we're just getting everything set up for the show here.
Oh,
LoySauce
okay.
has got to get at least 2 more sheets to the wind before we can start recording here.
I gotta get what?
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 You got to get riggedy wrecked, son.
you've never seen him like that. He passes out real quick.
I do not.
And I did plug Jordan's new band with one of my best friends, actually, Jesus. Brian Lindenmuth, but we called him Jesus. I lived with him for years. I was in 2 bands with him. Did plug that, and he hosts his dumpster. So be sure to go check out the demo song. Pretty rocking, man. It's like a mixed show.
Welcome to the live stream, Patrick Sherwood.
Oh, he left. He left. I'm going to grab one of my beers.
I thought he was going to clean his room. I thought that you scolded him enough, and he was going to run off and go clean.
It may even been his mom in the background yelling at him, "Brian, clean that room before you go to bed." It's entirely possible.
I pray that that's what she actually sounds like.
I don't know. I've never heard her because I've never met her before.
Actually, I'm doing something a little bit different with the soundboard this week. I've got it. I've got the audio for it turned down a bit, so it will be quieter overall. For if anybody in the stream noticed that, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit quieter than it normally is because I feel like the sound bites are too loud during the actual show. Like,
you're telling me.
Listen, they're still coming.
Oh man,
we're not getting rid of them.
Emily, I'll never forgive you completely. I mean, I love you, but I'll never completely forgive you.
I have to lie to women to get laid, and I don't score much. I got a little dick. It's pathetic.
Oh yeah, it is podcast T-shirt day. I am, of course, wearing.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Shut up, Justin. What'd you say, LoySauce?
Thank you. That'll be all. I was saying that you might have to cut 100% of my audio from this episode.
Done and done.
I expect you're prepared. You said you'd be prepared for tonight.
I'm just going to play
so
this the entire time you're
ready
talking.
to go.
I am prepared.
Yeah. I bet you are. LoySauce.
You want to know how I prepared?
Check. Sound check.
I bet
there it
yes.
is.
I said sound check, and I also drank alcohol. A lot of alcohol, actually.
That makes me so
happy.
I'm
ready to go.
That makes me so
all right,
happy.
well, let me grab mine.
I already actually grabbed my beer, but I do have to turn my air off. So, yeah.
You know that I
guys are ready
can't.
to get
I wish I
rolling?
could, but yeah,
It's
why
okay.
not?
I can noise reduce yours right the hell out of the show. It's fine.
Oh yeah, and LoySauce, I hope. Well, we're not going to get to the review yet, but as always, we expect you to come up with a description of the movie. So.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, I'll be right back.
I don't feel like that would be that complicated for this movie.
There's not a whole lot to it in terms of the plot.
The title really does kind of say it all.
Well, except he's not an actual baby.
No, but I'd watch that movie.
I would watch that movie. Remember The Boss Baby that came out a few months ago?
I do.
Boss Baby Driver.
That's a future episode of Who Spiked the Puns if I've ever heard one, guys. Get on that. All you guys down there in Australia. Get on that, you guys. Fuzzy D, come on, man. All right, so let me kill the air, and then it's Go-Go. Oh, no, it's Rocky. That's the
Where?
Rockster. Oh, my God,
He
I
was
never
around
get to
here
see
somewhere.
Rocky on here.
I'll go grab him. Rocky.
I thought that was
Come here,
Rocky.
boy.
Never mind. I wasn't looking
It's
at it.
Koji.
I wasn't
Nope.
looking
You're
at
wrong.
Go, Rocky. Come here, boy. Oh, give him to me.
it. I got excited. I never get to see Rocky. That's what it is.
Precious
Here's old man.
There he is.
Aw. Precious doggo.
Ruff, ruff, ruff,
You can't really
ruff.
tell, but he's getting really white in the face, man. He's getting old. Rocky, you want to say
Grandpa.
hello?
Papa is
Pops.
becoming grandpa. Aw.
Yeah. Get him, Rocky.
He's
Get
so
him.
sweet.
Get him. Look him up. Look him. Like everybody.
Wide world.
He says, "Get me out of here. It's too bright." He says, "Get me out of here. Give me a treat or get me out of here."
I want a treat. All right, so let me kill my air and then we'll get started.
Sounds good to me. It's so quiet. Man, do I miss playing music. I would do anything just to go back and play a show. Any show with any of my old bands. Seriously.
I'd pay to hear you sing, Justin.
There you go, you heard it.
Oh, God.
That's the point. That's the point, Good Squad. That's the entire point. I miss the days of getting on stage and telling the crowd, I want to see blood all over the floor. And they would literally make it happen. It would be a reality.
Psychopath.
Right, everybody do me a favor and...
Go listen to your Taylor Swift.
Start recording.
Oh, wait, shit. Start recording.
God damn it,
as an
LoySauce.
Audacity. You better do a quick test before we do anything because we don't want to make sure that, you know.
Check. Sound. Check.
Okay, microphone, USB audio, excellent. Mono or stereo?
Mono. I always do mono.
Yeah, record in mono. I mix it up to stereo afterward because Goldwave's stupid, but... and make sure, down in the bottom left-hand corner, make sure you're recording in 48,000 hertz.
48,000, gotcha. Yep. Okay. Check.
All right, so everybody recording?
Yes.
No, not yet. Now I am. Yes. 112-1112.
Okay. Am I holding the headphone to the... Damn it.
1111. 150.
All right, now
Thanks for throwing in that Catwoman breast talk last week.
You're welcome.
I forgot that existed.
You forget a lot of things exist. I still have tons of outtakes from episodes that were like in the 50s and 60s still.
What about breasts?
Catwoman. You didn't listen to last week's episode, did you?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
It's okay. It opens with you and I talking about Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, when you guys did it was from the Jack Frost B-side. It was you guys talking about Catwoman, and Justin wanted Catwoman to have larger breasts next time.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't that Hathaway wasn't well.
Anne Hathaway has sizable breasts.
It's fine. They just hid them with the stupid costume. That's all. That was my point. That was my entire point. So,
all right. So
you're
Justin,
a pervert.
Whenever you're ready, Justin, give me a sound check.
1-2-1-1-1-2 1-1-2 WHLW.
All right, and LoySauce.
Check. Sound check.
Check. Sound check.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm just going to loop that. I'm going to do one of those 10-hour YouTube videos of just LoySauce saying check, sound check over and over and over again. All right. So let's get this here. Audio level adjusted there. All right, and let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
Counting us in 5, 4, 3, 2. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 105 of the Epic Film Guys podcast for Thursday, the 6th of July, 2017. I hope everyone out there in podcast land is doing well. This is Epic Film Guy Nick.
This is Epic Film Guy Justin. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a great time tonight. I'm really excited about this. We don't usually, actually, it's very rare that we ever record on a Saturday. I think the only times we've ever recorded on a Saturday, Nick, are when we hang out with those guys in Perth there, like to be called the Countdown. Whenever we do stuff with them, we're kind of required to do it on a Saturday night due to their time shift being in Australia. But other than that, we really very rarely ever record on a Saturday night. There's a certain energy that you have on the weekend compared to like a Monday night when we usually record. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, that is very, very true. You definitely have more energy on a Saturday. We're, of course, live streaming over on YouTube. Welcome to the live stream, everyone that is watching and listening along. And remember, you can find the live streams on YouTube. The day the episode goes live, the episode live stream will go public, and then you can catch all the cool things that we do that are live stream only, like Thumbs of the Week, things like that. Now, Justin, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, including we're going to be reviewing Baby Driver, and we're going to be talking about a new trailer in Epic Previews, and we've just got a whole bunch of different stuff to pack into this week's show, so we couldn't do it without the God himself. We couldn't do it without him.
Yeah, the God of podcasting. In the live stream right now, looking like he wants to take a nap after his heavy margarita he had earlier on today. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about L-L-L-LoySauce. LoySauce, welcome to the show, man.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm not drowsy. I'm energized, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk about movies.
Ooh,
oh, great. I'm very glad to hear it.
Well, LoySauce, it's been a little bit since you've been on the show. I think maybe like 2 weeks. We've had you on a lot more regularly lately, which has been very, very nice. So keeping that streak alive. How have you been? How's the Alamo? How's hanging out with Justin in person? Dreadful, I know. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's all right, I guess. The Alamo's good. Tomorrow we are showing Jaws on the big screen, Steven Spielberg's Jaws. And of course, it is the month of Spielberg here on the Epic Film Guys podcast.
Ooh,
and so we're going to be kicking it off with Jaws tomorrow, and it's going to be a movie party. And basically what that means, for anyone who is not familiar with the Alamo Drafthouse, basically we try to make it a little bit more interactive, a little bit more fun for the audience. So we have themed props similar to what we do for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And we just make it a little bit more interactive. You can quote your favorite lines. If it's a musical, you can sing along to all the songs in the film. And it's basically just a little bit more relaxed atmosphere than normal. So I'm really excited about that. Justin's going to be in attendance. And it's going to be it's going to be rad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't say enough how excited I am. The first time I've ever seen Jaws on the big screen was for the 40th anniversary at the Alamo Drafthouse that you now work at, and it was amazing. Sold out show, looked beautiful. I can't wait for tomorrow. I mean, Jaws is in my top 5 movies of all time, and it is Spielberg month here on the Epic Film Guys podcast, as you said, which we're all very excited about. We're going to be getting to a little bit about that in a few minutes here, but I mean, I can't wait. The movie party, my family goes, my daughter loves it, my wife loves it. It's just Jaws is so special to me, and it really is. It's perfect for 4th of July weekend.
Absolutely, and it is one of the greatest films of all time. Let's not mince words here.
I got to do it.
Yeah,
LoySauce.
that's definitely
I got to do it just for that. We had a discussion before the show about how often I use the smattering of applause. And LoySauce, you haven't even listened to last week's episode yet. Yeah, wait till you hear that.
Jesus Christ!
I told you last week though. I want like. Throw on that Raw, like the crowd from Raw, man. Like, during the Attitude Era. I want that crowd, man. I want that crowd.
I still have a sound clip from that. I haven't edited it in there, but I have edited a few others. Maybe we'll hear them a little bit later tonight. But, gentlemen, let's get the proceedings kicked off in good fashion here. Justin, LoySauce. Wait a minute. LoySauce. I gotta know, what are you drinking?
Let's throw it to LoySauce here because we know that he had a huge margarita earlier, and we can see him in the live stream here guzzling back.
I want to know how huge this margarita was. I need a description. Like, was it as big as his head? Like, was it one of those big giant things? Like, they're these huge pitchers.
Well, I have a rather large head, and this was about the size of my head.
Wow.
Well, each of my family had one. I was with my mom and my stepdad, and we each had a huge margarita, and it was tasty. It was strawberry, it was frozen, and I rather enjoyed it. But as of right now, I'm drinking a beer from the Star Hill Brewery in Virginia, Charlottesville, Virginia, actually, and it's called The Love, and it's a wheat beer. It's a German-style Hefeweizen.
Ooh,
and
nice.
It has a little bit of a spicy finish. It's you can taste some fruit, aromas in there, and it's good, and I like it.
That sounds amazing. I do love a good hef. I don't drink them really all that often anymore, but yeah, I love how hazy
it's weird
and how cloudy a hef is.
Yeah. I feel like, not to cut in there, but Nick, I remember when I first started hanging out with you, you were a huge fan of those. You're the reason why I actually started drinking those in general, because you were such a big fan.
Hefs were my go-to back in those days. I just don't get the chance to drink that many of them anymore because I just took a liking to hops. Really,
hops, hop, and that goes right to the beer that I'm drinking right now, Nick. That is the Rico Suavens Imperial Double IPA. It is from Against the Grain Brewing Company. And I had one of their beers, actually, I saw back in December. I was looking for beers today. Now, everyone knows about The Alchemist. This is a beer company, a brewery that is extremely well known. Heady Topper, okay? Nick, you've had it.
Yes, I have.
I have not.
But
when I was up in town a few weeks back, when I actually hung out the same night, my good buddy Josh Ruff, who did a lot of my tattoos here in the live stream, King Kong, he did my T-Rex, my Rexy, my Charles Bronson. He had another beer from The Alchemist that he brought out, and he's like, I've been saving this forever, and he gave me a taste of it, and it was like God. It was like heaven in beer form. And I just literally looked all over on Untappd. I searched all over and could not find any of their beers, and I called a local beer store. They know their stuff. They're like, no, man. Anyone that has that stuff down here, they went up to the actual brewery and bought it, and they brought it down here to resell it. Like, they don't ship it at all. I was so pissed because I saw someone actually had a Heady Topper 7 miles from me like the other day, and I'm like, oh man, where can I find it? So unfortunately, no, it's not happening. Maybe next time I come up north, I'll try to find someone that can get it or whatever. But so I'm drinking this. It's pretty good. It tastes good, Caleb. It's fine. It's not amazing or anything like that, but the label, to those in the live stream, it's pretty awesome. It's actually a fantastic label. It's a sexy beer for the sexy man, and it has this hipster look. It almost looks like the Hopster dude. He's got tattoos. He's got a tattoo that says "nip" above his nipple, and he's actually like rubbing his nipple. So it suits me well. I'll say that much. But Nick, I have a question for you, buddy. What do you have guzzling down your gullet this evening, young man?
Ooh. And yeah, I do apologize before I get to my alcohol this evening. I do apologize. My internet just had a huge, massive hiccup. So your entire segment there came through garbled to the live stream. So I do apologize. But of course, this is why you double end, folks, because I'm going to get his untouched audio from the source, and it won't have any of that shit in it. But unfortunately, my internet just decided to take a fat dump there during that entire speech. I barely heard any of it either, but I'm sure it was a good story. I heard most of the audio, but...
Fantastic.
But anyway, I tonight am drinking, Justin. I pre-gamed with this bad boy. That is Stone's Enjoy by 7417. And I got to remember my mirror, or my camera is mirrored here, so everything's reversed. I need another mirror here so I can hold it up and then... But anyway, for the show, I actually decided to switch it up from an IPA, and I went on a wing and a prayer because most of the time when I buy a Goza-style beer, they're not very good, and I end up really, really regretting the purchase. But this one, actually pretty good. And if Emily's still in the live stream, she actually knows about this brewery. She's told me about it before, and they actually started selling this stuff down in our area not too long ago. This is from the Two Roads Brewing Company. This is their Persian Lime Goza. And I've had it already. I've already had one of the cans of it, and it's just got a fantastic lime flavor to it. The lime finish is tart, and then it just kind of gets that sour kind of puckered flavor on the finish, which to me is a perfect Goza. And there's just like a little hint of salt in there, balances it out really, really well. It's one of the better beers of the style that I've had, and I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's good, Caleb. It is. Wait a minute, hang on, Caleb. It's 4.5% alcohol by volume.
You notice that I specifically left that out on my description because I get it. Whatever. But some people do want to know that. I want to know that because when I'm buying a beer and I'm spending money, I'm like, how drunk am I going to get off this?
You know what?
I need to make sure that I'm...
Justin, I wish the beer that I brewed when you were here, the Triple Hopster 3.0, last night.
I wish too, man.
Yeah, I took that bad boy out of fermentation and I racked it to carbonation, and I just took a sample of it like I always do, just a little tasting glass. And unlike the Imperial IPA I did, Justin, where it didn't finish fermenting, there was still that sweet taste to it. There was still some sugar left over. The Triple Hopster, not the case at all. So goddamn boozy. It was crazy. Like, I had a tasting glass of it, like literally 4 ounces, and I felt kind of a little woozy after I drank it because it was like, woo. But it's strong shit. So that's carbonating right now. Should be ready to go in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait to crack that open on the show. And I think this will be the best version of the Triple Hopster yet.
I'm excited. I can't wait to try a version of the Triple Hopster like a year from now or even 2 years from now. I feel like the more and more you do your craft, the more and more you get into it, you're going to get even better at it, obviously, because you're a perfectionist. Same with your cooking. The same with the podcast. You're just going to keep getting better. You're going to evolve, and that beer is going to evolve along with it, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to be putting labels on it with the Hopester's face, selling it at conventions, the whole deal, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a thing.
Speaking of the Hopester, if you're not a member of the Hopester's Dumpster, that is our official fan page over on Facebook. Please jump over there and join it. Joining that fan group is the only way that you can get your thumbs in. Unless you can make the live stream, that's the only way you can get your thumbs in for our now live stream only segment, Thumbs of the Week.
Thumbs up their asses. Thumbs up their asses.
I love it, son. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. I love it.
2 very enthusiastic thumbs up.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Jesus Christ, man, what the hell is wrong with you? Please, just shut up! Fuck!
All right, and LoySauce, we love you. It's so great to have you back on the show once again. So anything, Kevin Sampson just showed up on the live stream, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome Kevin.
To the
Kevin
stream. I was just listening to
Sampson.
Kevin's voice earlier tonight because I was still finishing up the edit on that Transformers review. It should have been out by now, but unfortunately there was a sync issue with Kevin's track. It just lost sync, so I had to kind of go back and redo 3/4 of it. So it's almost done, and I'm going to try to get it online before I go to bed tonight, so it'll land first thing for you guys tomorrow morning, which will be Sunday, so it'll already be out by the time you're able to see this. But yes, LoySauce, we love you. This shit's all live stream only. None of it's going in the actual show, so we can fuck around all we want. LoySauce, thumbs for the week.
Well, I have a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Thumbs up to the George and Tony Entertainment Show. A couple days ago, we recorded an episode that will air not the week of, I believe it's the week of July 17th, whatever that is. But yeah, it's my midterm report of the year so far in terms of movies. And we just talk about the year so far and what were some of my favorite films and least favorite films of the year. So definitely check out that when it hits, the George and Tony Entertainment Show. And George Hanna is now the host of that show. I don't know if it's going to be announced soon or if it hasn't already been announced, but Tony, half of the George and Tony Entertainment Show, is leaving the podcast. So it will be just George. It'll be the George and LoySauce show. We know this, LoySauce. We know it's going to happen. Be honest about it. Well, we'll see. But I always love being on that show. And if the people who are listening to the live stream right now, please check it out because it's very it's a great time. It's a great listen. And George is also very nice. And that was the first podcast I was ever on, and I was actually the first guest on that show. So if you go way back to the archives of the George and Tony Entertainment Show, you can hear an awkward college freshman LoySauce talk about the Oscars and film, etc. So I'm very grateful to them for having me on the show once again. It's always such a pleasure.
That LoySauce got into college at the tender age of 10 because he's like 14 or so now. So.
Yeah, I was a little baby boy. So yeah, thumbs up to Gates, the George and Tony Entertainment Show. Thumbs down to iTunes rental service when it comes to movies. Because I rented a film called The Bad Batch, which I was very much looking forward to watching. And when you rent a film on iTunes, they lend it to you for a period of 30 days, right? So you have a month to watch it. But as soon as you click that play button, as soon as you hit play, immediately it says you have 24 hours to watch this, or the rental period will end.
Jesus.
So basically, I started watching The Bad Batch, and I got about halfway through, and I was enjoying it. I feel like things weren't really coming together because when you watch a film, you have to watch from beginning to end. You can't just watch half of it and know your opinion on it. You have to get the full experience. So I watched about half of it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll come back to this later. And then I had to go to work. And one thing or another happened, and basically I could not get back to the film and finish it in 24 hours. So I paid, $6 or $7 or however much it is to rent a film on iTunes, and I did not get to watch the full film. So in order to finish the film, I'll have to pay another $6 or $7 or however much it is.
Jesus.
Or I'll have to, whenever Justin here gets around to watching it, he'll have to invite me over.
It'll be in a couple days. It'll be in a couple days, honestly, because I really want to watch that movie. I was upset that Draft House did not get it here.
What the hell is that about?
I understand the reasoning because it hit, digital rental same day. So
same day, yeah. I'll never understand that. I mean.
I think it has to do with their feelings on the movie, if it's going to do well enough, and it doesn't look like a film that's going to do all that great, but it looks interesting to me. It's not doing the best critically, but the cast, along with the look and the tone of the movie, and obviously me being a huge 80s junkie, it looks like my kind of movie, whether it's going to be great or not.
I mean, I was digging it. It is kind of slow, and it's very visually driven. The characters don't really have a whole lot to say, so a lot of it's communicated through the visuals, and it's very much it's definitely a cannibalistic Mad Max. Exactly. Where it's just an absolute wasteland, and people survive by eating each other. And it's a couple brutal sequences so far. And Jim Carrey has a small role in the film, and you would not even know it was Jim Carrey because he's nigh unrecognizable in nasty makeup, and he has the fake teeth, and it's interesting so far. Jason Momoa and Suki Waterhouse are good, and I can't wait to watch the rest of it because so far I'm digging it. It's not anything great so far, but maybe something will happen at the end of the film. It'll come around and it'll all tie together. So anyhow, those are my thumbs of the week.
I loaded a special clip in here, and I think it's very, very appropriate for your thoughts on Apple there, LoySauce.
Very accurate. Very accurate. What can I say?
And Justin, do we have any thumbs over on Facebook?
On Facebook, I'll have to look, actually. Let me double check here and see. Did not have it up. I think we have, actually, literally... Okay, so we've got Scott LeVar, or as I like to call him, The Flash. Thumbs up to EFG, Ithaca, and Wendy's $4 meal deals. Thumbs down to How I Feel After. And I can completely relate to that. I ate Wendy's or Burger King or some shit like a few weeks back on the podcast afterwards. I promised the audience that I would do it, and I did it. And then I think I took a huge dump in the middle of the night, and then I felt like shit the rest of the time. Gerald Morris, thumbs up to the Alamo Drafthouse for the Jaws on the Water screening. Thumbs down for Close Encounters making the top 5. Ooh, and I'm sure, of course, Mr. Morris there is referring to our Spielberg July challenge. Someone doesn't like Close Encounters. But other than that, on Facebook, that's all we got, Nick.
All right, and over in the live stream, I didn't tell you guys to throw your thumbs in there, but please do so now. Thumbs up from John DeQuilla for smoking a Rocky Patel The Edge Maduro. He's having a nice cigar while he listens to the Epic Film Guys podcast. That is probably the classiest thing that will ever be associated with this show, John DeQuilla. Thank you very much.
Unless you're bringing out that expensive, classy bourbon you've been buying. I mean, that's something, right?
Yeah, I ran out of that quite a while ago, unfortunately. That was so good. I finished that pretty quickly, and I would barely have any of it in a sitting. Like, I would have like 1 or 2 glasses of it like every other night or so. But yeah, unfortunately, it was just too good to let sit there. So yeah, finished that off pretty good. Justin, why don't we kick it over to you for some thumbs?
Yeah, man. I just talked about one of my thumbs earlier on, seeing Jaws tomorrow on the big screen at Alamo Drafthouse for the movie party, hosted by none other than LoySauce. And two huge thumbs up for a 4-day weekend. Man, we could all use it. We all know it. It is our Independence Day. And, a huge thumbs up to Dan Brennick, Mr. Director Brennick, because that guy is one of the only people I know in the entire world. That's him. That his favorite movie is Independence Day, and it is one of my favorite movies as well. And it's a fucking awesome movie. It's a movie that I watch every single 4th of July. And you'll recall this, Nick. Before I moved, the 4th of July before I moved, you came over, you and your wife Ada came over, and we watched Independence Day.
Yes, we did.
And then you and I actually proceeded to get drunk and then quote 89 Batman for the rest of the time.
Pretty much the entire night.
So, I mean, that's what happens when the Epic Film Guys get together. Eckhart comes out, Knox is there. You never know who's going to come out. But
and I've experienced this. I've experienced this firsthand. The two Epic Film Guys together, quoting 89 Batman. It's a sight to behold.
You actually saw that happen at Ned Devine's bar, the backyard hangout of the Hopester. He likes to hang out and live in that dumpster behind it, but yet that's where, maybe that's where the Hopester began. Maybe that's where we found him. Maybe he heard us talking and decided that was going to be the point where he was going to start following us around.
That is entirely possible because I think that was back before the days of the Hopester. The last time I was down there to see Batman versus Superman. It was,
yeah.
At the Dan Brennick 6-story laser projected IMAX screen at the Smithsonian.
That's right. And it is beautiful. And it sucks because I haven't been there since I saw Rogue One there, because a lot of the movies, they just require 3D. And I'm like, nope, not going to do it. Though from the early word that LoySauce sent me, Valerian, sounds like it's a treat to see in 3D. So maybe I'll pony up to see it. Unfortunately, though, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I'm excited for Dunkirk. But of course, all IMAXs will be filled up with Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk during that same time frame. It's released the same week, so you probably won't be able to see it on an IMAX screen in 3D. But other than that, man,
We'll see. I mean, I can't wait for Valerian. Can I just say that I think that looks like the most fun movie of the year?
It looks fun. It looks visually entertaining, visually stunning. If anything,
I'm
extremely
hesitant with Bassan at the helm, though. I mean,
oh yeah,
I want to be excited
Lucy,
for it. Like the trailers do look interesting to me, and like it does look like it's going to be at least very visually spectacular. But when they throw up the the credits for Bassan in the trailer, it's always the director of the Fifth Element, Leon, and then they throw Lucy in there, and I'm like, God damn it.
Like, and it's funny because they throw that in there like anyone liked that movie. It wasn't a huge hit, and it wasn't it didn't do well critically. So yes, LoySauce, I'm sure you're going to say you liked it.
No. I mean, well, it made its money. It was a modest hit, and I know several people who liked it. I admired it for its gonzo, just complete over the top ridiculousness. It's not a great film, but
you said it. You just said it. There you go. Good
yeah,
enough.
Besson, he's hit or miss, mostly miss, but who knows? This could be a return to form. I think he's good with sci-fi when it comes to like the Fifth Element, and this could be kind of in that same vein. Who knows?
In the live stream right now, we got from Justin Winters from So I Married a Movie Geek. He said thumbs down to Dan. I'm pretty sure he's referring to Dan Brennick.
And he also said thumbs up to Nick, Justin, and LoySauce. Director Brennick said thumbs up to Okja. That's the Netflix film that they submitted to Cannes. I guess he and Caleb from that show both had a chance to watch it. They'll be reviewing it for their next episode.
I can't wait to watch that, actually. Yeah, that the creature looks like a half hippo, half rhino. It looks cute. I like it. I want to like jump on it and put a saddle on it and ride it around.
Yeah.
They call it a super pig in the film.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We also get from Picture Lock thumbs up to this 4-day weekend with family, friends, and hopefully a safe holiday for all. Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks,
Kevin. Very much, Kevin. We absolutely love Kevin Sampson. I need to get some Kevin Sampson because he did some great like sound drops and stuff. I need to get some of those on the soundboard.
Oh yeah, we're gonna use some Kevin Sampson sound drops on this show. Yeah.
Thumbs up from Jared Taylor for his beer this evening. Innocent Gun Rum Aged Stout. I believe that's the brewery from Scotland, if I'm not mistaken. From Check Sound Check. That's Patrick Sherwood. Thumbs up to Destruction in Human Form. Jared Taylor. Jared says thumbs up to Patrick. And then Dan said thumbs down to Mila Jovovich, predicated on our Lucy discussion there. And then Justin Winters jumped in and said no, thumbs up to Mila Jovovich.
And now, of course, Brennick is going to come back with a harsher comeback, and we'll leave that alone.
Ooh, thumbs down to having to work Monday from John DeQuilla. Yeah, unfortunately, I feel you there, man. That sucks.
Feel.
All right. Now, thumb-wise for me, are you guys there? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
let's hear it, buddy.
The internet's getting a little wonky here.
Wonky.
But yeah, I just have a couple of quick thumbs for the week, and I'm going to start with a huge thumbs down to The House, which I threw a quick image of over there on the fucking live stream. I'm like the world's biggest Amy Poehler fan. I fucking love Parks and Rec. I absolutely adore her. I think she's just amazing. But this movie was the least fucking funny thing I've seen in a long time. Like it's about 85 minutes long. Like it's very briskly paced, and literally half of the script is tied into like trying to make the plot of these, they're very, very suburban kind of lower middle class parents who are just trying to raise money to send their daughter to college. It really goes so hard just trying to sell this plot to you. And then there's like a couple of moments, but really it's just one of the least funny things I have seen in a very,
so
very
I have to
long
ask
time.
you, Nick, is this something that's proving that Farrell was no longer on point with his comedy? I mean, because it's been a while since he's had a huge hit. I mean, you got to think about where he was 5 years ago compared to now.
I don't think it was necessarily Will Ferrell's fault or Amy Poehler's fault or anybody involved. Like, I think the cast all did the best they could, but the material here is just like, once it actually gets to where they're running the casino and like they kind of become gangsters. Like, there's one cool moment when Will Ferrell's like wearing women's sunglasses and smoking
just like I used to.
Smoking like one of those really thin, long cigarettes and stuff like that. And they're playing the Sopranos theme, and he's standing there in the casino. And like once they actually get the whole casino thing, once the plot actually gets to where it's trying to get you, there's a few funny moments. Like that's probably the better part of the film. The entire rest of it is just devoted to trying to set up the absurdity of it and trying to get you to buy into it, and it's so forced and it's so try hard, and it's just there's nothing natural about the material that really lets. There's a lot of great comedic actors in the film, a lot of Parks and Rec alum in the film. It's really, really sad that it's just
giant block of wood. Is that giant block of wood Jeremy Renner in that film? Is that the movie that LoySauce was telling me the other day that Jeremy Renner's in?
I'll tell you what. Renner's cameo, it's a glorified cameo for the most part, but Renner's cameo is probably one of the funnier parts. I'll spoil it for everybody since nobody should see the movie because it's terrible.
Because no one gives a fuck, right?
Renner's cameo is great because even if you don't like Jeremy Renner, he gets his arm cut off and he gets set on fire. So,
oh my god,
I might have to see this movie just for that. That's a bonus, dude. That's enough like, for a $5.
He's a glorified cameo. It's nothing spectacular, but it's not terrible. And
Nick.
just yes, LoySauce.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Was a lot of the humor like line-orama, just kind of letting the joke go on for a little bit too long? Was it a lot of improvisation back and forth? Because that's a problem that I have with a lot of modern comedies.
I feel like it was too much time trying to set up the joke, so then by the time you get there, like you don't care about the payoff. If you know what I mean, like it's like they're setting up and that's kind of that's really a descriptor for the entire plot. Like they're trying to set the whole thing up, and you just don't care. Literally the whole time, you're like.
Well, I don't think anyone expected too much of this movie, although with the comedic star power involved, I'm a big fan of Jason Mantzoukas. I think he's he was the saving grace of that piece of garbage, Dirty Grandpa. And I think he's a very talented comedic actor, and I'd like to see him in more stuff. Was he funny in the movie?
He did his best with the material that he was given. He was probably the best role in it. Nick Kroll was great. I love Nick Kroll as well. He plays the douche from Crazy Ira and the Douche in Parks and Rec, and he plays like the city council, like fucking whatever in this movie. Whatever. It's just
okay. So it wasn't good. Well, we won't go see it.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Don't go see it. But yeah, watch the clip on YouTube whenever it comes out on Blu-ray of Jeremy Renner getting his arm cut off and set on fire.
That sounds great.
I want to see the movie just for that. Literally, I'll buy the Blu-ray Ultra 4K just so I can put that on repeat over and over again. I was just telling LoySauce the other day, and I'm like, who wants Jeremy Renner in a movie? Seriously, do you remember him in Arrival, Nick? I don't either. If his face wasn't on the cover, I'd forget he was in it because he's so forgettable.
Physicist.
No, he wasn't. He was nothing. He was a no-namer
It was the
asshole.
greatest stretch for any character, any actor to ever play any character in the history of motion pictures.
I got it, ladies and gentlemen. The suit's in a room. Hey, let's get Jeremy Renner for that part. He'll work. Get whoever's available. Get Jeremy Renner.
Shit.
He's there. He's not shooting arrows in people in another Avengers movie and getting wasted in those movies. Let's waste him in ours.
Meg Ryan did play a helicopter pilot in a film that the name escapes me. And we had Denise Richards playing a scientist in a James Bond film.
Fair point.
Christmas Jones. Remember that? Christmas Jones? Christmas Came Early?
Extremely fair point, LoySauce. And I actually, I will go ahead and I will give a like one thumb up. I will give one thumb up to Despicable Me 3. And it's a film LoySauce has derided.
Let's hear it.
Except for the first one, LoySauce has really derided this franchise, and I think it's because of the Minions. I think you think they're overused.
They are, but also Despicable Me 2 is shockingly racist.
I didn't like
lazy.
the second one either.
I think. Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily know how either one of you would feel about the film, but it kind of plays out. Trey Parker plays the villain, so it really feels like Randy Marsh is the villain from South Park the whole fucking time because it's the same voice. Like really, and then he's starring as the younger version of the character as well, so it just feels like Stan. Like I'm just like the whole time but he's like straight out of the 80s, so he's got huge shoulder pads. His hideout is a big fucking Rubik's Cube, like, and he plays all these cool 80s songs when he fights stuff. But, you know, I thought he was fine in it. The Minions actually are very, very downplayed in it. They do not get nearly as much screen time as they did in the second one. There's a lot less of them, and you get instead way more of Steve Carell, who plays himself and his brother in the movie, and does a really good job kind of switching between their two personalities for whatever it's worth. I mean, of the two movies I saw today, because I saw them both today, it was by far the more enjoyable of the two. Whether you want to chalk that up to, you know, how bad the house was or how much better this was, whatever. But, you know, my wife really, really loves these movies, and
we know
the little
that she
girls
loves
in
it.
them,
It's great, yeah.
The little girls in them are especially adorable. There's a whole little subplot of Agnes trying to find a real unicorn, and like, it struck me during the showing that, you know, right in the row in front of us, a couple seats down, you know, we have those big leather recliners there at the AMC in Vestal, Justin, and there was a little girl. She had to be about 4. She was perched up. It was reclined all the way down. She was perched up on the back of it, just sitting there. And, like, whenever stuff would happen in the movie, no matter what it was, she was just, like, the most excited I've ever seen a little child ever. Like, clapping, like, cheering, like, yay, yay, like going nuts. Like,
yikes.
She loved it. She's their target audience. So, you know, if that
That's
little
great.
girl loved it, they did the job well, because as cynical as we want to be about it, we're never going to be the target audience for a movie like this. But I mean, like I said, if LoySauce's problem is overexposure of the Minions, then this one would probably be at least better than 2 for him, where there was a lot of Minion stuff in 2, not so much in this movie.
Well, the thing that bothered me about Despicable Me 2 is the fact that, like, okay, my main problem with it isn't that the Minions are overexposed, even though they are. My problem with the Minions is that in the first one, they're used as little grace notes to the end of a scene, to like a pratfall or something, to just they serve as background characters as a little grace note. In the sequel, they're in every single solitary scene, and they're the main driving force of the plot. So it sounds like in this one, they're a little bit more like they were in the first one.
They're way more like they were in the first one, where, like, they'll punctuate a scene. Like, there's a few scenes, like, they have their own little subplot in the movie, but there's actually a good chunk of screen time where I actually kind of was sitting watching it, and I was like, God, the Minions haven't been on screen in quite a while. Like, I was kind of surprised that you hadn't seen them in quite a while. So, yeah, like I said, you would probably enjoy it more than 2, at least.
Oh, well, I don't think I could. I mean, Despicable Me 2 is one of the worst experiences I've had in the theater. So, I mean, hopefully, I would at least hope that it would be better than 2. I have a question. How racist was this film on a scale of 1 to 10?
Less than the second one. I
okay,
mean,
the second one was
at all.
The second one was shockingly racist.
The bad guy is just like, you know, the bad guy is a like I said, he's just a kind of this pastiche of different 80s tropes all smashed into one character.
When I saw the trailer for it, dude, he was wearing the jacket, he had the mullet, the sunglasses.
Like his weapon, like his primary weapon is a fucking keytar that he attacks people with, and when he plays it, like he plays all sorts of different 80s music. Like, if it was, those are kind of cool little touches to it, I think.
If it wasn't totally out of Kaya's age group, which it is, she's 13 now, so she's not interested at all anymore.
She wouldn't care.
Even though we did take her to see the first 2 in theaters, which she really loved. Whatever. I'm glad that I don't have to do that now, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it looked like a cool villain. I mean, make it 80s, throw some 80s music in there, whatever. But glad at least that you enjoyed something that you saw today, Nick. I didn't get a chance to watch really anything today, so.
All right. And that'll about wrap up the thumb segment, so we'll just take a brief pause there. All right. Now, gentlemen, we have so much more stuff to discuss in the show here. And as LoySauce mentioned right up there at the top of the show, it is Spielberg month. The Spielberg Challenge has begun. All right. So, if you want to check in your films that you're watching for Spielberg month, do so over in the Hopesters Dumpster Facebook group. We've got a pinned post over there for you to post all your check-ins. The rules of the challenge are simple, Justin. 5 films. We put out the poll. It maxed out responses on SurveyMonkey in less than 24 hours.
Which is awesome, man.
Amazing response to this poll. It's amazing that people got so invested in this. But it's this simple. 5 films. You've got Jaws, Jurassic Park, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You have to watch those 5 films if you're going to take part in the challenge. You can watch however many more films you want. as part of it.
As many as you want.
And we're going to have more.
You can watch literally every single Spielberg film ever made if you want to.
We're
I know some people are going to do it.
We're going to have more stuff to go with the challenge as it goes forward. We're going to probably do a prize for like whoever watches the most Spielberg films, things like that. But you know, those are the 5. So you just have to watch those 5. Let us know that you're watching them. Everybody that participates in the Spielberg Challenge is going to be entered to win an Epic Film Guys prize pack. Simple as that. So we're super, super thrilled to get into the Spielberg Challenge. We're super thrilled for everything that we've got coming up in the month of July. Again, we've got Apes, a huge Apes retrospective with Paul from the Countdown. He's going to be joining us to review War for the Planet of the Apes and to talk about the first 2 films. We've got a huge, huge, huge Movie Pod Squad Network megasode in the works for... We've got a huge, huge, huge Movie Pod Squad Network megasode coming to talk all things Christopher Nolan. So we're going to do our best 5 Christopher Nolan films, and we're going to do a Dunkirk review. So it's going to be super, super fun to get into that as well. Next week on the show, LoySauce will be back. Director Brennick will be here, and Justin will be reviewing Spider-Man Homecoming. And
that is correct. I'm so excited about that.
Huge, huge month for movies. And, of course, we're going to be reviewing Baby Driver a little bit later in this show. So, you know, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I do. It is awesome. I'm really excited, I feel like, for this month, Nick, more than any other month, just because both of our most anticipated movie of the summer, Apes, is hitting. And I'm really excited about that. I think it's getting a really huge critical response as far as positive responses are concerned. And I know as much as you're not going to watch it and you don't give a shit, I'm pumped for Spidey's return to the big screen because the response that I've heard from people that I know loved it. They said it's fantastic. So, I mean, I think at least as far as a good month in film for summer movie season, I feel like this is going to be it, man. June was fine. I feel like this is going to be even better.
All right, and you know what we might as well do right now, Justin? Since we've only got one film to discuss, and we've just got some other stuff we've got to get to later on in the show here, why don't we go ahead and drop a very early episode edition of Epic Previews.
In the world of Endicott, New York, and Herndon, Virginia, 2 epic film guys dissect the latest movie trailers in a segment we like to call Epic Previews.
All right, and we've only got one film to talk about in Epic Previews tonight, and that is going to be The Greatest Showman, starring Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum. And this trailer was posted over into the Hopesters Dumpster not too long ago. I can't honestly remember who posted it over there, so I do apologize. But I saw this trailer twice today when I went to the movies for both of the films that I saw, and I really, really fell in love with the trailer. I really think it looks absolutely phenomenal. I think it looks very, very much larger than life, which I think is what a movie musical should do. So let's go ahead and dump the trailer in here for our friends in the live stream, and then we're going to get back to just discussing it really, really quickly. And apparently I do not have this sized correctly in OBS. Hang on. Oh, yes, I do. I'm such a fucking idiot. Oh, no, I don't. This is where we play the Kent Brockman technical difficulties sound clip.
So I'm going to watch this in the live stream?
If you want to. So, like, turn your mic off and then, or whatever, and then just when you're done, because the stream will be like 10-15 seconds behind, so then just why is
I'm gonna piss.
size?
Then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna grab my beer, my second beer. I'm gonna do, be right back.
You're fine. Still going on this first segment here, so just you be quiet, Scott LeVar. This movie looks wonderful. I'll wait to play this until Justin gets back, so that way Justin can get a good taste of it here. Hi, LoySauce.
Oh, hi. I tell you what.
There's going to be a lot of shit that's got to get trimmed out of this first segment.
Oh, sure. You know what? I am not having a second beer tonight. That'd be dangerous.
I mean, dangerous for you, but wonderful for our audience.
I just get really relaxed, and I just want to lay down and take a nap.
Yeah,
That's what kind of drunk I am.
We need you for lots of stuff. Lion is coming to Netflix. So I'll watch the first half and then turn it off.
Oh, come on now.
I loved the first half of that movie. But
Lion's
then
a great film.
The second half of that movie was such a letdown. It just did not keep up the
momentum.
The kid, momentum's probably not the right word, but the little kid did so much to invest me in the character. And then I love Dev Patel too, but I don't know. That little kid's just so magnetic and so watchable.
Okay.
That I just think that nobody that they cast in that role possibly could have lived up to that.
That's fair.
All right, Justin, you ready?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, LoySauce. You can finish that thought. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember seeing it at the Middleburg Film Festival, and I just broke down in tears at the end of the film. I thought it was incredibly powerful. If anyone hasn't seen it on the live stream, when it comes to Netflix, I highly recommend you watch it. If you have Netflix. If not, then you should definitely seek it out by other means. But I enjoyed it for what it was. And what it was Oscar bait. Let's not, no mistake about that.
Yeah,
but
it definitely was. But all right, let's go ahead and we're going to drop the trailer here for The Greatest Showman, and then we'll get into a discussion.
Can I have your attention? You're all dismissed.
Bankrupt.
Better luck with your next job.
I am not a stranger to the dark.
This is not the life I promised you. Not even close.
'Cause we don't want your broken parts.
Girls, I think I've had an idea.
Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
P.T. Barnum, at your service. I'm putting together a show.
No apologies.
And I need a star. Every one of us is special. And nobody is like anyone else. That's the point of my show. Ready? Showtime. No one ever made a difference by being like everyone else.
I can't just run off and join the circus.
Why not? I mean, you clearly have a flair for show business.
For show business?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of it.
Because I just invented it.
You keep quiet over there in the live chat, Scott LeVar.
You know, I got to tell you, man, that was my first time watching that trailer, Nick, and I don't care how Oscar baity it looked. I think it looks fantastic. Being a huge fan of, you know, the history of the circus, I've always been intrigued by it, considering that basically Barnum and Bailey right now is done. They're ending. They just ended this last year. I watched the whole thing on CBS Sunday Morning about it. And being a kid, the circus was so important to me. As an adult, not so much because of the animal cruelty, a lot of the things that happened behind the scenes. But I mean, the early circus, there was something so magical and majestic about it. And how
about human cruelty, Justin? Because that's what P.T. Barnum was all about.
You know, I'm talking about the movie, though.
Okay.
And animals are worth more than humans. So there you go.
Okay.
But no, I mean, in general, for the trailer itself, it looks fantastic. I think it looks fun. I think it looks visually stunning. Not a fan at all whatsoever of the modern music used or utilized in that trailer. I really didn't like the music in general. Not my type of music, and I don't think that it fit well. But obviously, you know, mainstream audiences are that fit right in with the demographic for that trailer, and that's gonna get them excited to see the movie this coming Christmas. So,
this movie is getting shit on over in the live stream so hard right now.
Yeah,
everybody is down on this movie over in the live stream.
I'm right there with them in terms of the fact that the dialogue in this trailer is so cringy.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't use that word very often, but it's kind of the embodiment of the word, because the dialogue in this is so just obvious and so on the nose, and it's like, oh, I just invented show business, and it's like, okay, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to go for, I think they're trying to go for like a Baz Luhrmann Moulin Rouge type film where it takes place in the past, but there's modern sensibilities, there's modern music, and it's self-aware in that it's using modern sensibilities in the past. But just the fact that the music is very modern, which I don't have a problem with that. The music is composed by the same people. I believe it's Pasek and Paul, the duo behind Dear Evan Hansen, which is a great Broadway musical that's on Broadway right now, and it's it won Best Musical at the Tony Awards, actually. So the song itself is not bad, but just in the context of this film, and again, it's just based on the trailer, but you have this modern music, and it does not fit at all with the imagery, with the visuals.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't fit at all. But as you just said, you get what they're going for, and it makes sense. Did I expect to hear like old school classic circus music during that trailer? No, of course not. And the music that they play during the trailer, that's what you listen to in your car, LoySauce. So I mean, I'm surprised you're not excited about it because of that. But
well, I'm not excited about it because again, like the lyrics to the song as well. It's like, this is me. I'm not gonna make any apologies for who I am. But in real life and what really happened, it's a very different story. So I feel like this is a little dishonest because P.T. Barnum treated people like shit. He, he gathered all the freakiest people he could find and treated them terribly and paraded them around and saying, look at these people, laugh at these people. And if you read up on what P.T. Barnum was actually like, this is a very dishonest film. And again, this is not shooting for historical accuracy. This is trying to be a family film during the holidays, a feel-good family musical. So I get it, but at the same time, the dialogue in this is so bad. Going up to a little person and going like, "I'm looking for a star, and you're just what I'm looking for," and oh, I have an idea for the circus, and it's so cheesy, dude. It's so cheesy.
To segue off of that, not before I get to Nick, because I want to know his thoughts on this. This film is portraying the American dream, and regardless of how horrible and brutal it was, the American dream has been obtained by so many of the most famous people that obtained it through brutal nature, through stepping all over people, stepping all over the little guy. And that literally is, not to get political or anything, but that is the American dream. And that's literally how we think of it in our head. All those classic people, those legends, most of them stepping over the little guy to get there. And people got hurt in the long run. But I got to hear it.
The movie's not going to be about that. So
of course it's not. So, Nick, what did you think of the trailer overall?
I can't fucking wait for it. I don't even give a shit what anybody says about it. I think it looks
fantastic.
There you go.
There you go. That's the spirit.
I will say that it is very, very, very much pointed at kind of a modern message of, you know, accept me for who I am, accept everybody for who they are, don't put people down because of who they are. It's definitely a very, very modern thing to include in a film like this. But I mean, they're obviously going to just kind of make this big majestic piece out of it. I don't think that they're trying to go for any kind of, as LoySauce said, I don't think they're going for any kind of historical realism or anything in the film. I think it looks very well shot. I think the dialogue,
visually,
I agree with LoySauce. The dialogue is a little, come on, fine. But I mean, I still think it looks like it's going to be insanely entertaining. And yeah, the trailer really did it for me. The trailer really, really did it for me.
Awesome.
I just really enjoyed it.
And Hugh Jackman has proven himself to be a very capable
there it is.
performer when it comes to musical theater. He's been in productions of Oklahoma. He won a Tony for The Boy from Oz. And he was great in Les Miserables. So you can always count on him to anchor a great musical theater performance. And of course, we have Zac Efron, who
I love Zac Efron.
I love Zac Efron so
too.
much.
at least we all agree on one thing. I mean, I was saying in the live stream over there, he was getting some hate, but like, you know, my daughter growing up when she was young, she loved High School Musical, and I got used to the guy, and I started to really like him. And I legitimately do like him, even in movies like Baywatch, where the film was almost completely unwatchable, or LoySauce, yes, and Neighbors 2, where I absolutely hated the film. There was still something to get me through it, and usually it's him, because he's got a great comedic wit. He's a great performer. He's a great actor. I think he's yet to find that movie that really lets him stand out as an actor. Hey, I'm saying hashtag Efron for Nightwing. It probably won't happen, but I don't give a shit. I like him, and I think he looks, you know, he's in the movie. That's a great addition as well. So, I mean, for me, of course, it's over the top, you know, feel goody Christmas time. But I don't care. Those movies are fluff, and they're meant to be that way for a reason. And audiences go to see those movies for that reason. So it is what it is.
All right. And we'll close up the discussion on the trailer here. Let us know what you think over in the discussion thread when this episode goes live, over in the Hopesters Dumpster. And speaking of the Hopesters Dumpster, as we roll into our first segment break here, we're going to have a poll up, and this is more pertinent for you guys in the live stream than it is for people listening to the episode after the fact, but we're going to put a poll up to determine kind of the path forward that we're going to choose, because we played promos for, God, well over a year, just an eternity of the same promos over and over and over and over and over again. And as much as I love promoting and plugging a lot of the shows that we really, really have come to love and are really, really great friends of the show, such as The Countdown, The Story Behind, Netflix and Spoil, whatever, I absolutely love promoting other shows, but I just didn't feel that it was a great method of doing so. And I just knocked my camera down and it's pointing at my laptop keyboard. I'll fix that in a moment. But
are you sure it's not pointing down at something else, Nick? I was hoping it was going to point down at something else, something larger. Something meaty, something that has some hair on it.
It's not pointing down at my stomach either. But yeah, I'm gonna go in, and we started doing the featured podcast thing because I was like, well, let's think of a cool way that we can really feature, you know, other shows and not play promos, but where we're actually giving somebody a real slice of what they're actually getting. And I mean, unfortunately for me, it was a great concept, but I think its execution is just. It's 5 minutes of another show, and it's just kind of completely this huge gap between what we do in the first segment and then moving on. So the poll's going up on what you think or what you would like to see to replace the segment break for the first segment on the show. Featured podcast is gone, and you know, huge shout out to all those shows that we did feature, and unfortunately a huge shout out to those that we never got around to. But yeah, I got so many different things that I'm thinking of that I think would be much better there. Also, I want to take a moment to plug the Epic Roast line. We're rebranding Fan Views. Fan views hasn't been used in forever. We really haven't promoted it in forever. So what I would like to use the line for is for people to just call us and give a shit. Just call us and roast us in the great tradition of an old school Dean Martin celebrity roaster. Something to that, or if you're just pissed off at us and you want to fucking vent at us or whatever, call into that line. And if it's good enough, if I like it enough, it'll lead the show. We'll start the show with your clip. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into our first break. Those on the live stream are going to get to hear trivia prize drawings.
Another one of those.
That's what you win.
Epic belches.
Right there.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and run into a break here. Now, those in the live stream are going to get to sit for trivia drawings. We've got a May and a June trivia drawing to do here in the live stream really, really quickly. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And then when we come back, gentlemen, it's time to talk Baby Driver. All right, so
Nick is still talking in the live stream, but I don't hear anything. So I'm going to say, give it a few minutes. Then we're going to do the trivia. We'll be right back.
There it is. All right,
And
so
stop recording.
Yeah, everybody stop record. Fuck, that
over
segment's an
hour.
hour long, and there's like 20 minutes of audio in it. That's okay.
It's fun. You'll live.
That's why.
Right?
But I like having the thumbs now because the thumbs, that whole thing just gets fucking cut completely now.
But it's also fun. I like doing the thumbs now, live stream. I used to not even give a shit about
It's
the
more
thumbs.
interactive now.
all.
I like making it. I like making something special for everybody that does actually turn out to the live stream. So thank you, everybody that is joining us over here on the
And
live
decent-
stream. We absolutely
decent-
appreciate it.
Decent to good turnout for the live stream, by the way. I mean, I absolutely wish, Nick, that we could switch our recording night to Saturday nights. But I mean, I know how tough it is. We all do things on the weekends, and especially when we only do have 2 days, it makes it tough. But there's, like I said earlier, there's a certain energy in the room. I could feel it with you. I could feel it with, drunken margarita guy over there.
Kevin, if you want the check, man, I got it, man.
Check, sound, check.
There it is, man. It's not the drunk LoySauce sound check, so it's a little bit different, but
I gave the exact same sound check as I have every episode previous.
LoySauce, did you already save your audio?
Yeah, I saved it.
Making sure that Margarita's talking.
Why does he sound really far away now?
I don't know.
How's this?
Way too distorted.
That was
you sounded
way
so
too loud.
Dude, you sounded so good at your dad's. What the hell's the situation now? What are you doing now? What are you recording
He sounded
from?
fine. He sounded fine that entire segment. It's just now it sounded far away, and then whatever he just did, it made it sound way too loud.
How about this?
That sounds
Is this
good.
better?
That sounds great.
Okay. I'm recording from a Hewlett-Packard Spectre laptop. It's my mother's because
You
my
need to record from your dad's awesome Mac just to piss Nick off because he hates Apple products. But you sounded so good recording from that. So except for the damn cat.
Well, I
That was
sounded
hilarious.
good. I sounded good except for my pretty much half of my audio for the Mummy review was incomprehensible and lost to time forever.
You had a great thing that you did with that too, which sucks.
Dude, I'm so mad because my entire Mummy review, what I was basing it off of, I was really proud of.
You know what you should do?
It was
You should
great
rework-
too. That was the sad thing. Like that whole piece that you did, like to kind of lead into your thoughts on the movie, was amazing. But it was literally unlistenable. I was like, I cannot possibly upload this.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
It was so sad because I was like, man, this is good, and I have to cut all of it.
It is what it is, stuff happens. But, yeah, it's fine. It came out great.
Because shit happens, and who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
LoySauce. I'm gonna call LoySauce.
Oh,
We're recording on Dan Aykroyd's birthday. Heads up to Jared Taylor. He posted that in the Hopster's dumpster.
All right,
I
who's
feel
up
like
for
here's-
some?
here-
Who's up for some trivia prizes here? While we wait to get everything started for the second segment, Justin and LoySauce, if you guys got a pee or whatever, please do.
Yeah, I gotta piss. Can I take a huge shit too? I'm gonna take the whole thing in there so you can see that too while I'm pushing.
If you want to, I guess.
Pushing,
I don't-
wishing I had a cushion on that toilet seat.
You are disgusting.
Half the time that I ever text you, Lois, I'm on the toilet, so that's why you get like 15 in a row.
15 what?
Texts.
Oh, that's right. True.
Like that text I sent you earlier of the Power Rangers Blu-ray Steelbook, and I said, I'll buy this for you just so that way you'll suffer for the next year.
And I said buy it for Nick because that fuck loved that movie. So.
Hey, that was an honorable mention of mine last week, and that's the best it will ever get as an honorable mention from me. It was not great by any means, but
Justin and I were actually yelling at the screen and throwing things at the screen. We were so mad. And I bought a $10 Power Rangers popcorn bucket just for that movie too. I was so excited. I was ready. I was ready and willing and pumped up for Power Rangers. And it sucked.
Let's see. So for the May trivia, I actually alluded to this a little bit before the recording, but we're going to be giving away an Epic Film Guys beer stein.
Nice.
And you can get those over on our Cafe. Is it Cafe Press? I can't even fucking remember what it is. All right. We had a ton of people. This was for our Star Wars trivia that occurred back in the month of May. And unfortunately, I just never got around to drawing for it. We had a ton of people respond with, the Star Wars moments that I chose because, of course, Star Wars is huge and everybody knows it. So there we go. All right. So let's hit final draw. Free drawing. Go fuck yourself, you motherfucker. All right. So let's go ahead and see our results here. All right, congratulations to Caleb of the Netflix and Swill podcast. You are the winner of an Epic Film Guys beer stein. Great, he's going to drink fucking nasty dumpster juice out of it. Oh, my God. Oh, he's going to drink dumpster juice out of it. Oh, yes, congratulations, Caleb. All right, so let's go ahead and draw for our June. Now, June was soundtrack trivia, but I purposely made it a little bit harder because I wanted to kind of make it a little bit tougher for people to try to draw. And we only had all month 8 responses for our June trivia contest. So let's go ahead and come on. All right, what should we give away for the June prize? Anybody? Fuck Caleb now, too. Welcome to the stream, Dave, from the Super Movie Brothers podcast. Yeah, Caleb and his burnt hair. Caleb burned off a bunch of his hair. All right, over to Random Picker. And let's get June going here.
Boom. Shake it up, shake it up. Did I miss anything, ladies and gentlemen?
Caleb
Anything
Brownlee
happening?
won an Epic Film Guys beer stein for our Star Wars trivia in May.
Woohoo!
And now we're going to draw
That was
for
my
June.
attempt at a homer. Woohoo, but I'm sure you can do
Justin,
it better.
what do you think the prize should be for June? What should we send for June?
You know, I got to say, I want a prize because my Epic Film Guys, my new pint glass, actually, I got to be honest, man, we may have to get a new vendor for these things because it literally went like this on my kitchen counter and it smashed in half. It like just shattered. I was so pissed, dude. So, I mean, I am
Mine
right
is still
now.
alive and kicking, thankfully.
I mean, I'm using the old one right now that Patrick Sherwood got me, and thank him for that very much. But I was so pissed. I'm like, literally nothing happened to it. And then Danielle's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I did nothing to it. Why did it literally crack in half? So I don't know.
All right. So I'm thinking, why don't we just give away another beer stein, Justin? What do you think? Another beer stein?
Well, beer stein's good. We're doing hats soon. We're gonna do patches soon.
Yeah, hats will be very soon.
We're going to do patches, and then you can put it on your jean vest and look super 80s, or, you know, if you want to put it on a hat or, you know, on your jean shorts that are cut offs. Yeah, we're going to do that too. Hoodies? Well, Scott, we could do hoodies online, but those are more expensive.
All right. Again, we only had 8 entries for movie soundtrack trivia, and Looks like Dan Brennick and Scott LeVar are our best chances to win here. So let's go ahead and we're going to hit the draw button again here. Let's get that drum roll.
Scott, I got digital movie codes. Whenever you want them, just email me or message me.
All right, and a huge congratulations to Fez of the Afterburn 739 podcast, the winner of an Epic Film Guys beer stein. And thank you, everybody, for playing in our trivia games. We love giving away free swag. And I haven't announced it on the show yet, but no July trivia contest.
Hey, Justin. Hey, Justin.
You talking to me? Hey,
Justin.
what do you... Yeah, you. What?
Justin, when are we recording our Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island B-side?
I'm not doing that. Patrick Sherwood's doing that with you. He bought a Yeti microphone. He's yet to do anything podcasting-wise, so he's going to record that review with you. I'm not doing that review.
But Justin...
But no, I'm not doing... No.
You're a Scooby-Doo fan. Do Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island with me and Patrick Sherwood.
No, get Director Brennick to do it. He's got nothing else to do. He wakes up every morning and does nothing.
Damn.
That's not a bad thing. I did it too. I mean, make Brennick do it. Because he'll shit all over it. It'll be a better review.
You
go.
There's no possible way you can shit on Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. That's...
I don't know.
Oh, no. I guarantee you. Even if you go in with a cynical mind, you'll be won over by Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Under the Red Hood is literally one of the only DC animated films of the recent 5 years that I actually think is good. So, yes.
What? When did we start talking about DC animated films?
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure it's Super Movie Dave. I think it's Super Movie Dave that's in the live stream. So. Oh, so Dan does like kiddie movies too. Okay, cool. Hey, I didn't know, man. I don't know your childhood, dude. I don't know. I know you like some good stuff. Do you like Captain Planet too? Or do you think that sucks because it actually has a message to it?
Captain Planet sucks, but not because it has a message to it.
Shut up. I like that villain, Hoggish Greatly, because he's a giant pig man. And he snorts every other word. I'll get you, Planet. I mean, come on. Great villains, man.
He snorts like Goji.
Corny's great, dude. You're talking about Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, and you're saying it sucks because it's corny.
Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is not corny. You haven't even seen it. You don't know what you're talking about.
I want it live action. Bring back Freddie Prinze Jr., get Sarah Michelle Gellar back, bring back the entire live action cast, then redo it live action. Then I'll watch it.
Well... Scooby-Doo, the movie, took a lot of ideas, actually, from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, except it had monsters instead of zombies. But, anyhow,
we are alone here in the live stream. I think Nick just went to go drop a gigantic deuce before we get into our Baby Driver review here.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, I could agree with that, Director Brennick. When wives walk through the back of the live stream, this reminds me of Unfriended, an Epic Film Guys horror film that would be pretty awesome. To those in the live stream right now, I'm dead serious about this. LoySauce and I have been secretly working on something. We'll just hashtag vigilante soon because something's going to happen, actually.
Oh.
Dead serious about this. A film will be made that we're working on. We're working on the concept right now. In the next 3 years, it'll be a short film. But
in the next 3 years, it'll come out.
Hey, at least we're not going to be one of those indie horror filmmakers, cough, cough, that throw shit together and rush it and make a big pile of shit movie. I'd rather have my short that's 15 minutes, maybe half an hour, be of quality. So,
hey, anyone who's on the live stream, I'm going to post a link to a short film that I made, and or that I co-directed, co-wrote, co-directed. Anyone who's interested. Yeah, anyone who's interested in watching a film that I happen to help make, feel free to check it out because I'm proud of it and I want your opinions on it. So I'm going to post a link and you should save it and watch it if you have 18 minutes to spare.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much for joining the live stream. We'll see you next week, buddy. Super Movie Dave, super looking forward to that new Blu-ray for Mask of the Phantasm, dude. Super looking forward to it. It just sucks balls that DC and Warner Brothers aren't putting any fucking special features on it whatsoever. Damn Nick with all this slasher music. This literally sounds like something from fucking Waxwork. Whoa, we have via VHS in the live stream right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, welcome. Also, Kevin, Unfriended sucks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got more big things coming in the future of the Epic Film Guys podcast, and this is your chance to be part of the next one. Now, if you're a long-time listener to this podcast, you know that we used to do challenges, okay? Every October, horror movie challenge. Every November, never seen it November. All right, now we're bringing back challenges with a little bit of a twist. All right, this is going to require you, the listeners, to participate and let us know what it's time to watch. So coming up next month, in the month of July...
Get me Steven Spielberg. He's unavailable. Then get me his non-union Mexican equivalent.
Schindler and I are like peas in a pod. All right, so yes, we're going to do 5 Spielberg films for the month of July, and it's going to be up to you, the audience, to pick those films. So go ahead, write us with your top 5 Spielberg flicks of all time. We're going to compile the list by the end of June, and the top 5 films on the list we're going to watch and talk about on the podcast coming up all through the month of July. And we're going to have prizes for those of you who are going to play along at home. We want you guys to get involved. Let us know what Spielberg films you're watching on top of the 5 that we're going to do that month, and we'll have prizes. So stay tuned for more details on that. In the meantime, please get those picks over to us. You can call FanViews at 607-444-1473. You can email us at epicfilmguysny@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, at Epic Film Guys. Get at us. Let us know your Spielberg top 5, and we will do the challenge.
Listen, Senor Spielbergo, I want you to do for me what Spielberg did for Oscar Schindler.
Schindler es bueno. Senor Burns es el diablo.
Listen, Spielbergo, Schindler and I are like peas in a pod. We're both factory owners. We both made shells for the Nazis, but mine worked, damn it. Now go out there and win me that festival.
All right, is everybody ready to get segment 2 underway?
I'm so ready.
All right. Well, it looks like the stream is hiccuping. Thank you.
You're hiccuping.
Thanks, Time Warner.
I'm gonna tug on that fucking beard so hard.
Thanks, Walt Disney Company. All right.
Brother.
Man, Justin is fucking typing. I swear to God, editing you last week was like editing Dan during any time Dan's on the show because of the incessant typing.
Hey, you at the live stream. You want me to pay attention to it or not? It's your idea.
I'm just saying. Just saying. All right.
I will stop. I will pay no attention to the live stream. We'll go right into the review.
You'll only pay attention to LoySauce. He's the only one that deserves your attention right now.
True.
All right. So let's go ahead.
Why? Because he's my son? I give my son enough attention. He gets enough.
All right. So start recording for me. And then when we're recording, LoySauce will start with you with a sound check. Oh, boy.
What the fuck was that?
It's my headphones feeding back into the microphone because I'm holding them up for the sound check.
Audacity doesn't want to open. God damn it. I'm recording.
Well, give me a sound
I
check.
am also... Oh, okay. Check. Sound check.
That is beautiful. Justin.
112-1112 WHFM L motherfucking W.
I probably went a little bit too loud on the gain on the headphones there. All right, so let's go ahead and get the show back. Justin, you want to roll it in?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
All right, hold on. Goom, 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 goom. Here, missile drop. All right, we're going to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Epic Film Guys podcast. Thanks for sticking with us here, and thanks to all those in the live stream hanging out, having a great time on this beautiful summer night. It's a Saturday evening in July 1st to be exact. It's about to hit July 2nd, but we are about to sit down and talk about a movie that just hit theaters this last weekend. That is Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. And we have LoySauce here in attendance. He's going to tell all of you no-namers that don't know anything about Baby Driver what this film is all about.
Well, Baby Driver concerns the title character Baby, B-A-B-Y, Baby, played by Ansel Elgort, and he's a getaway driver for a bunch of bank robbers. And he has tinnitus in his ear. And to drown out the ringing in his ear, he pumps up music real loud to get himself hyped, to get himself focused while he's, driving the getaway car. And he would love nothing more than to forever escape the world of crime and drive off into the sunset with his new lady love, a diner or a waitress at the local diner, played by Lily James. But his boss, Kevin Spacey, is essentially blackmailing him to perform one last heist. And that's pretty much what the film is about.
All right. And you know what? LoySauce, you and I had the opportunity to see this movie at a screening, I feel like almost a month ago. It was definitely 3.5 weeks ago in D.C. And we drove all the way there. We went through actually complete hell. I got out of work early to see this thing. And 2.5 hours getting out early from work, and we still got there, and we had to sit in the front fucking row. And it was one of the most, I literally felt like it was a painful experience for me to sit through this movie, but seeing the movie itself was extremely positive as I walked out. So we're going to throw it to Nick. Nick just saw this movie the other day. I feel like our listeners know a little bit more about how we feel about it than Nick, but we have yet to hear his opinion. So, Nick, all right, buddy, let's hear it. What are your initial thoughts on Baby Driver?
We ain't doing no initial thoughts. That's not our review style.
It is mine.
All right.
I ain't changing your review style just because you changed.
I fucking hate you. Okay, we'll do what everybody else does. No problem. All right. I was going to open the fucking salvos to have everybody list off their good things.
All right, that's okay. If you want to do it that way.
And then we'll get into the discussion.
Well, there's no bad stuff about this movie at all. So go ahead. Go list your good stuff then. Go ahead.
All right. So, like I said, I want to open up. So, like I said, I want to open it up, and we'll go around the horn here to let everybody kind of jump in, throw in everything they loved about the movie. We'll get around to anything that anybody disliked about the movie before we get into kind of a broader discussion. Now, I'm going to just let Ron Swanson say how I felt about this movie before I jump into anything else about it.
It's so beautiful.
This is my favorite fucking movie of the year. This fucking movie was fucking amazing. Oh! I loved everything about this movie. Pretty much, I did have a couple of little things, which we'll get to a little bit later, but we'll start out right up front. And Kevin's bashing him over in the live stream, but I'm going to completely disagree. Ansel Elgort fucking sold me from the moment this fucking movie started. I absolutely loved him in this film, and I want to pitch it over to LoySauce.
Well, let me just start out by saying this is probably Edgar Wright's worst movie, and the fact that it's an absolute masterpiece is just a testament to how brilliant a filmmaker Edgar Wright is. he's brought us 4 of the best comedies of the decade with Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And this is just another film to add to his filmography of near flawless entertainment. I mean, this thing fires on all cylinders. It's so many things. It's funny, it's romantic, it's action-packed, it's scary, it's suspenseful, and it's an absolute work of art. I want to say it's, if not my favorite movie of the year, absolutely in my top 5. And when I exited the theater upon seeing it with Epic Film Guy Justin in DC, I was practically jumping up and down. I was so excited to enjoy a film again. Remember when you saw a film and you enjoyed it? Do you guys remember?
That was about my experience walking out of the theater as well, LoySauce, because I walked out of the theater, I about wanted to fucking do, like, in, like, that old style, like, sitcom thing where they freeze frame at the end where you jump in the air and you got your fist in the air. Like from the opening shot, that's what you get from this movie, and I mean, there's so many good things to get to.
What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you that?
I want to kick it over to Justin here.
Man.
To throw in some good stuff here, because I mean because the bad part of this is going to have little to nothing in it. Like I have a couple caveats about the film, but that's literally it.
Huge fist pump here. And what did I say on last week's episode? I mean, I know you named last week's episode something to do with being drunk because it was me and not you, even though you may be drunker than me, but it doesn't show as much. But I did say on the show last week that if the opening to this film doesn't excite you or get you happy, then I'll be the one upset and I'll be the one that's failing at this. But I'm so glad to hear you loved that opening. I did say this on my little infographic on the page that I did post the other day on the opening day of Baby Driver. Featuring the best use of music in a movie in ages, Baby Driver is clever, hip, unique, and full of energy. The must-see movie of the summer movie season, and this is the movie. It came out of nowhere, and it's very rare that we get a original movie, original script, original idea, and a director as good as Edgar Wright behind the camera making that movie that's as entertaining as it is. I mean, it's very rare in this day and age. It's sequels, reboots, comic book movies. And while we all love a lot of those movies, this movie seriously came in out of nowhere. I did not expect to love this movie as much as I did. It did take a little while for it to kind of stew inside me, LoySauce. As we were walking outside the theater, he just absolutely loved this movie. And I'm holding that poster in my hands by the amazing artist Rory Kurtz that hand drew the thing. Beautiful poster. Absolutely love it so much. And I'm walking out there. I'm like, I liked it a lot. Let me think about it some more. And it really just took a place inside me and made me realize how great this movie was. And I'm not the hugest fan of everything Edgar Wright. I mean, I do love Shaun of the Dead. It's one of my favorite movies. I think that Hot Fuzz is good. World's End, not one of my favorites. I thought that it was fine, but not a great movie. But Scott Pilgrim, definitely a really good one, a showstopper. But in this case, this movie just completely took me from start to finish. It gave me everything that I wanted out of it. Great characters, fantastic action. I mean, guys, got to tell me, seriously, when was the last time you saw a car chase sequence as good as the car chase sequence in this movie? Seriously, almost, I would say probably 75% practical. It just was fantastic stunt driving in this thing. It's shot beautifully, and all the characters are so fun to watch. Like, you're always wondering what they're going to do or they're going to say next. And a standout for me, and yes, I'm saying this right now, is Jamie Foxx's Bats, man. I just absolutely love that character. He's so dangerous, but yet so comedic at the same time. I was just wondering what that guy was going to do next.
Absolutely. Well, let me jump in, Justin. For those who might not be informed about the central, I don't want to say gimmick, but the central conceit of the film. So Baby has tinnitus in his ear, and so, like I said, he pumps up his music, and this is a very music-driven film. You have everyone from the likes of the Beach Boys to young MC on the soundtrack to this film. And so it's a wide variety of music. And what's interesting about the film, and in fact what's visionary about it, is the fact that all of the action on screen is choreographed to match with the beat and the rhythm of the music. So when there's gunfire, or when Baby, turns the wheel, or when he is shifting gears, car doors opening, closing, etc., even the editing, it's all to the beat of the music. So the film itself has a rhythm to it. And Edgar Wright is such a visionary in this way. Like I said, he just has complete command and complete control over how he wants his film to look, how he wants it to sound. And I think that this is one of the best uses of music in a film that I've seen, because like I said, the music is almost like a character within the film. And when the film has, again, you go to see a film by some hack director, normally when the scene ends, when the scene concludes, it just goes to the next scene. Edgar Wright is not a lazy director in that way. He plans ahead of time. I'm sure he storyboards everything, and he transitions his scenes to give it a rhythm. Like I said, in one scene, Baby and Deborah are in a laundromat, and the camera focuses on red clothes tumbling in a dryer, and it's very cyclical, and then it fades into a vinyl record with a red label spinning on a turntable. And that's just such brilliant filmmaking when you're able to transition a scene like that naturally. And Edgar Wright's just kind of a genius.
Yeah, and to branch off of that, that's exactly why I loved this film so much. There's a number of other amazing visual transitions in the film like that, but going back to what you were saying about the sound, that's why, for all intents and purposes, I do sound production, I do sound design and sound editing for this show literally all the time. So to hear how perfectly all of the action in this film was choreographed specifically to the fucking music, it was legitimately a sound designer's orgasm. And every single time that the film went back to that, and I loved the music. I loved the use of music in this film too. It was absolutely perfect. There's that one scene later on in the film when they're getting ready for the heist, and everything gets a little out of pace, and Baby's like, no, wait, I have to restart the song because he's got all this time
loved
to
that
the
scene.
song.
Oh my god.
So perfect. It for me, that was the reason why I walked out of this movie as happy as I was. Not to say that there aren't other good things about it, so let's get those out here now. And the first one I'm going to put on the table here, and whatever, is John fucking Hamm. Dude knocks it out of the park in this fucking movie.
Oh my god.
He's so
I'll
good
be
in
quiet.
movie.
I'll have to zip my lip, Nick. I'm sorry.
He's so fucking good in this movie. Literally, he's got this kind of this badass edge to him. And you mentioned Jamie Foxx's Bats, who is also absolutely fantastic in the film. But John Hamm's a little more reserved. You kind of don't get a full sense of him, right away. But then as you kind of revisit that character as he comes back into the story a little bit later on, you really get to spend more time with him. And Jesus Christ, Hamm's so good at just delivering not only dialogue, but he's so good at just delivering visually in terms of performance, the way his character is emoting. He sells every single bit of the performance in this film. He was absolutely, literally everybody in the cast knocked this out of the fucking park, but among the cast, I think Hamm was definitely among the strongest. I absolutely loved him.
I have to agree 100%. And, Nick, you already know that I was going to chime in about this. I love John Hamm. Mad Men is my favorite show. Mad Men is my favorite show of all time. Fuck anyone that says otherwise. No, just kidding. If you don't like it, it's totally cool. But, Hamm hasn't done anything major since he was Don Draper and Mad Men, and that show, left our view. The show's over, it's done with, and he's kind of been just floating in La La Land, and he's been doing like insurance commercials, and I'm like, come on, dude. For those that are unaware, because I've talked about it 1,000 times on the show, and if you haven't heard it enough, John Hamm was my number one for Batman when they were recasting Batman for Batman versus Superman, because he had that jawline, he's got those eyes, and he expresses them so much in this movie. That's part of that performance you're talking about, Nick, where he doesn't even have to say much. It's his just mannerisms and his eyes and the way he just turns his body to look at Baby in certain scenes. And it's that whole physical presence that he has as an actor that I love so much. And it was so great for me as a breath of fresh air for being a huge Batman fan and a fan of Hamm in general to see him in this movie. And he's so good in it. Now, we're not going to get into deep spoilers in the film, but I mean, legit, the guy is chilling in the movie. He switches from one extreme to the other, and when he does, literally, it's going to take you by storm. He's so great in the movie.
He's a rotten son of a bitch.
He is, but I mean, you know what? He's likable though. At the same time, that's why he's the great, yin and yang, the double-edged sword, so to speak.
The great thing about his character in the film too is it's not just that he goes from one end to the other, as Justin said. Like, we won't spoil the event in the film, but when that event happens, he sells it 100%, and you actually understand where his character's coming from and why he's acting this way, which is what makes him even better. Like, you completely buy it, like, absolutely 100% to a T. And like I said, that's why he's so good in the role. And, I mean, the rest of the cast, I mean, we could throw Kevin Spacey in here, and anybody else that anybody wants to throw in there?
And John Bernthal.
Yeah, John Bernthal was fucking great in this movie.
And Lily James is Deborah.
Well, I think we're confusing John Bernthal with Justin Esquivel because they look virtually identical.
That is a
in the film.
Hey, man, if I did that crew cut, man, and I was still in shape like I used to be, maybe, possibly. I do have to say this much, though. Well, I think I'll wait till we get into our negatives, like deep into our negatives. But, I mean, why was John Bernthal only in this movie for 15 minutes? Come on, dude. He was so good in it. Bernthal's great in everything. I mean, he is the Punisher. I love Bernthal. He was the only reason that I liked The Walking Dead. I mean, he's the only reason that anyone should like The Walking Dead. Once he dies, you should have all stopped watching the show because it sucked so fucking bad. But I mean, in general, he's great in the movie. The whole cast in this movie is great. I have no complaints, all around about anybody in the movie. And Spacey is so good, man.
Spacey's
Just think
awesome.
about this. It reminded me of this. I know that you did not watch the movie, Nick, even though I gave you the digital code. God damn it. Glengarry Glen Ross. But he plays a character in that movie who's up at a board and he's writing stuff on the board. It's the 90s, man. And he's so good in that movie. He's so young. And in this movie, it just brought me back to that film with seeing him writing stuff on the board. And I'm like, damn it, Nick probably hasn't watched Glengarry Glen Ross. He should watch that movie because it's almost like a similar type of character in a way. It's different, yes, when you get deep down to it. But I'm like, just picturing him up there in a suit, and writing stuff down on a board. I was like, dude, he's come so far from where he was in that movie, but he's such a great actor. And he hams it up in this movie, but he's so fucking good. I mean, how often does Kevin Spacey get a great role, something to chew on? He chews scenery in this thing, but he's so good. I mean,
I think you're forgetting last year's hit film 9 Lives. Justin.
So what? He played a cat. Bill Murray played fucking Garfield. I mean, how many people literally are like, oh, you're going to pay me $500,000 to voice a fucking cat or a dog or whatever, fucking a rabbit in this movie where no one's going to see me? You think he gave a shit about that? Even if they put his name on the marquee or on the poster? It's Kevin fucking Spacey, dude. I mean, legit.
Well, in this film, Kevin Spacey doesn't do anything that we haven't seen him do in other movies, but damn it if he doesn't completely nail it.
Exactly. My point.
The person we haven't mentioned yet, and a certain Kevin Sampson had issues with this particular actor in the film. But Ansel Elgort, I thought was great in the film. I think you needed someone who was believable in that he had seen a lot of shit. He had a little bit of danger behind his eyes, but he's also an innocent. There's so many different facets to this character. He's cool, but he's vulnerable. You know what I mean? And I think he was a great choice for this character.
I loved it. I feel like this character.
He was my favorite part of the movie in terms of actors. He was my favorite part.
He has to be quiet. He has to be that kind of. I mean, make no mistake. I don't know if the influence is there specifically. The film's called Baby Driver. The posters have the pink. Everyone's referencing Drive. I don't know. Whatever. If the references are there, if the similarities are there, do what you want, say what you want about it. But the character has to be cool and collected, but he also has to be kind of like not cool at the same time. This kid doesn't really do anything. He stays at home with his foster parent. He does the jobs. He's good at doing them. He loves music. He's cool in that sense, but he's not like a badass or anything. I mean, he's a great stunt. He's a great driver, a getaway driver, but he doesn't like flaunt it. He's not like the typical badass that's sitting at the table with like a matchstick or, like a toothpick in his mouth. Like, he's just a normal kid that has a problem, like a hearing impaired issue, and he loves music, and he drives getaway cars because he's forced to, based upon a mistake that he made with Kevin Spacey's character. So, I mean, it's the perfect representation of what this character should be. He's quiet and cool and collected. And I feel like so much of his performance is just in his mannerisms and his eyes and his movements. And that's it. You don't need so much dialogue from that character. It's so much. I feel like the one scene that got me the most, that literally sold me on his performance, is when they're sitting there talking about they're talking about their next heist. And he's sitting there with the headphones on, and he's literally drumming away, and he's listening to stuff almost like I do on this podcast half the time when I'm listening to Nick. And they're like, shouldn't he be listening? He's not paying attention. And then Spacey just basically flows it down like, here, tell him what you just heard. And he heard the whole thing, and he describes it in complete detail. That's what that character is.
All right. And well, before we jump into any of the negatives that we may have had about the film, does anyone else have anything else that they want to throw into the positive aspects? We've heard a lot of the performances. Justin mentioned all of the amazing driving work, which I know we're going to discuss even further in detail. And of course, we've talked about the music. Does anyone else have anything they want to add to the positive aspects of the film?
Well, my positive is also going to get into the negatives a little bit.
All right, well, you know what? You be that bridge, LoySauce. You be that bridge for us.
Sure. I thought that the romance in the film was very fairy tale-like. And I mean that as both a positive and a negative, because the chemistry between Ansel Elgort and Lily James, I thought was there. I could feel it, and it felt it was. It's going to sound weird me saying this, but I thought it was kind of sexy because they were you could tell they were very passionate about each other, and the way that they looked at each other, and in certain scenes, I thought it was, you could feel the heat, coming out from the screen. However, I do think the romance was so simplistic, and this is for all intents and purposes a fable. But I felt that the romance was almost like Disney-like, where it felt kind of like a young adult novel. It didn't really feel like real life. And I know that that's not what the film is trying to convey. The film is, and I've heard Edgar Wright describe it as such, a fable. But I did feel like the romance was very simplistic, and I can see people being turned off by that. It didn't turn me off to the film, but I could see that being a major downfall for some people.
I actually want to jump right on that, LoySauce, because for me, it was a little bit of a point of contention with the romance, but it didn't detract enough from my overall viewing to like ruin it or anything. But I'll agree with you. It did seem a little bit fairy tale like, and it was a little bit, it almost kind of stretched the bounds of believability for me. Like I was hokey, so invested. Yeah. It was very hokey. You're exactly right about that, because like they meet each other and they have the great, amazing scene in the laundromat. Like the chemistry between these characters is absolutely on point. You're 100% correct about that. And it's just, I feel like it was a little bit too brisk of a move from, okay, they're these two characters who have just met and, they're really into each other and etc., to all of a sudden they're running away together and doing all this stuff. She's agreeing to run away with him. And I mean, the impetuousness of young love, yada, yada, yada. You can throw all that different stuff in there, but you know, for me, I think as much as it invested in all the other aspects of this film, even though none of the characters got like, except for Baby himself, none of the other characters got like a ton of screen time or a ton of character work, but they got enough to really sell them. And I think Deborah did too, but the relationship itself, I think, was probably, if I had to think one thing in this film that was lacking, that's it.
I got to say this much. Jumping into my negatives, it is also a positive, but at the same time, I get where they're going for in this movie. I feel like Edgar Wright knows his classic cinema so much, and a lot of that is in this script. A lot of it is in these characters. But the first time that Baby meets her in the diner, their first back and forth is very, very formulaic. It just feels like you said, LoySauce. It's very fantasy-like in the sense that it feels like an old 70s movie. It feels like that kind of dialogue that you'd get in an old movie like that, or a 60s movie. When a girl would walk in the door, she's dancing around, she's getting into work with her work outfit, and then the male character kind of latches onto her visually, and then they connect and they have a discussion. It feels like that, but at the same time, I like that because it feels like those old movies. And it brings me into their relationship. It brings me into their connection. So it's a double-edged sword because I like it at the same time as I'm like, oh, man, they're going to do that. So I really am going to have a hard time, guys. Nick, Brian, I'm going to have a hard time coming up with anything bad about this movie that I disliked.
There's nothing about this film that I outright completely disliked to where it detracted from my overall experience with the film itself. Like I was in love with this movie literally from like the first 5 minutes.
So Nick, I have to ask you, while we're on the spot here, we're in the live stream, we're recording it. We just did our top 5 of the year up until this point last week. Is this film going to fit into your top 5?
Yeah, it's number one, 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Number 1?
Absolutely.
See, you know how good this feels, LoySauce? You know how good this feels when you and I are both wrong about this? When I have to go out on a limb here because Nick and I used to talk about movies as soon as we saw them. We would text each other before the podcast days. And I asked him this morning, I said, come on, give me something. Give me a hint. Did you hate this thing? Because I was ready to come in here and be like, and hear Nick be like, he didn't love it. But I had hopes that he would because this felt like out of any movie that I've seen the past 6 months that Nick hadn't seen before I saw it, this would be the one that he liked. And I can't tell you enough, Nick, I am so happy and satisfied that this movie satisfied you in the way that it did. I can't tell you enough, man.
Yeah, I mean, this thing was... We'll branch into the discussion here because I don't think any of the rest of us have any negatives to add to anything. If we do, we can add them later. But it's, for me, from that opening scene... And the opening scene of this film is, they pull up and, the crew gets out to go perform the heist. And then, it immediately kind of took me to all those moments. And everybody has these moments where they hear that song that they love and it pops on the radio. And they just sit there and they start singing along. And they're tapping on the roof and they're tapping on the door. And they're rapping along on the dashboard, singing along with it. And, they're so invested in it. They're so in love with it. It immediately sets the tone for this film. And for me, it immediately, I was worried about this film. It's called Baby Driver. I still hate that fucking title, but I think it's fine. I understand.
It's from the
why.
Simon and Garfunkel song, man.
Shut the fuck up. I still absolutely love the film. I get, kind of where they were going with, and it doesn't bother me anymore because that was really the only hang up I had going into it. I still thought the trailers looked interesting enough. They didn't really 100% pike my interest, but they were enough to put my ass in the seat, and as soon as that scene happened, that scene immediately sells what this movie is trying to sell. So if you don't buy it from that opening where they're going to, as LoySauce was talking about earlier, they're going to synchronize a lot of the action with the sound in the film, the sound effects with the music. If you can't buy that from that opening, you're not going to have as good of a time as I did. For me, I bought that literally immediately, right away, and I was just invested in it from the get-go. And like I said, it's probably because I do all this sound work on the podcast, it probably does lean a little bit toward that. It probably does give me a little bit of that because it's so amazing to hear such amazing sound production work, and everything else about the film was solid as well. It's just it's one of the most entertaining experiences I've had in the theater in quite a while. And this year, as in terms of a year for films, like when we did that top 5 last week, I was struggling a bit to put that list together. Like I had to put films on it that I was very mixed on. Like Kong Skull Island was on my list and shit, which I enjoyed overall, but I still had a lot of issues with. This is one of few films this year where I have just I was blown away by how good it was, how absolutely wonderful I thought it was.
That's fantastic. So, guys, as we're getting in depth about Baby Driver, let's just get to the nitty gritty before we get to our, well, not Nick, but our final thoughts and our ratings. Yes, LoySauce, you're still required to do a rating, even if Nick isn't doing them until we decide on, if we're going to do something else. Yes, give me in depth, damn it. I want it so in depth that you're behind me and holding onto my hips. And
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Well, LoySauce, I feel like I'm going to throw it to you real quick before we get to our Nick's final thoughts, my final thoughts, because I have not. I will be honest with you. I've seen a lot of movies with LoySauce. His name is LoySauce. His name is LoySauce. Yes, his name is LoySauce. His name is LoySauce.
I need to isolate this as its own sound drop.
And I had not seen you this excited, this happy with the glisten in your eye. Yes, that was a fucking thing, dude. I saw it, and you're holding the poster, walking downtown DC, and it was a special feeling regardless, because we went to an awesome screening in downtown DC. This is right in the middle, right next to the Verizon Center. We're walking out. We just saw this movie that no one else had seen, and you were like, that was the fucking most amazing thing ever. Like you really, really love this movie. And I've seen a lot of movies with you. It was like either it was really good or blah, 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 or you hated it like Apocalypse, which we never want to talk about again, or, Suicide Squad that you gave a 10 out of 10 rating. You said it was the best movie of the year. Still, not even
you
close
are a
to this.
Filthy liar.
Okay, well, Power Rangers you gave a 9 out of 10. So this
I'm pretty sure he gave that
another
a 10
lie.
out of 10.
Oh, that's right. Actually, you said if there could be 100 out of 10, you would give it for Power Rangers. But I'm going to give it to you for your final thoughts on this movie because seriously, like I said, I felt something in you as we left that theater that made me like it even more.
Well, you're right, Justin. I mean, it's rare when I walk out of a film and feel this giddy walking out. And I have to say that anyone who's listening to this podcast right now, I implore you to go see Baby Driver in theater. Support original film. This is a film. I guess it's a wide release. It's not a blockbuster, but this is a film. This is a film that has an original concept with comedy, with action, with romance, everything you can want in a film, and it appeals to what cinema is supposed to do, and that is to entertain. But not only does it entertain, it also there's so much craft that goes into this film, and that's just again a testament to Edgar Wright and how brilliant he is as a director. I think he's a visionary. I think he's an auteur, and this film is just another impressive addition to his pantheon of already brilliant masterpieces, in my opinion. I think Baby Driver's a masterpiece. If I were to give it a rating, Justin, I would absolutely give Baby Driver a 9 out of 10. I do think it's Edgar Wright's worst movie, but again, to say worst is a misnomer because all of Edgar Wright's films have been masterful, impressive, and this is no exception. I feel like if you do not go see Baby Driver, you are not only letting down yourself, you're not only letting down us epic film guys, you're letting down cinema.
I'm doing the smattering again, LoySauce. I don't care. That was worth it.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump right off of what LoySauce just said. And, thanks for those awesome words there, LoySauce. I really ended up loving this movie. It is one of the standouts of the summer. I put it on my top 5 of the year so far for the year. Last episode, last week, and that stands. It may even rise higher. Who knows? I do want to see it again this week in my 4-day weekend for July 4th. I'm hoping to get a chance to watch it again. Unfortunately, my local Alamo that Brian helps run is not showing it on their big format theater. No, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. They're showing Transformers The Last Stand. And I'm going to keep fucking calling it that because that's what it should be called. The Last Stand with that franchise, and it's over with. Even though I didn't hate it as much as Nick and Epic Film guy Kevin Sampson. I mean, Kevin Sampson from Picture Lock said, it is what it is. This movie just really is what summer movies are all about. And yes, Edgar Wright is a visionary. He's fantastic. He is one of the best directors that is working in Hollywood right now. Marvel, you fucked up. I'm going to keep throwing it at your face. You missed out on Ant-Man. What his Ant-Man would have been, should have been, and could have been would have been way better than what we got. So, Edgar Wright, love you. This movie's fantastic. I'm gonna give Baby Driver a 9 out of 10 raving. You should see this movie. Out of any movie this summer, this is the movie to go see.
Yeah, and I'm going to 100% agree with that. This is a 100% recommendation from me and from the Epic Film Guys podcast as a whole. I would say, I mean, this movie just Ansel Elgort, and I can't believe that Kevin thinks he's the weakest aspect of the film. I still, for my money, I just think he has all those amazing scenes with his adopted father, who, you know, he does all the sign language communication with, which was just amazing. So what Edgar Wright does in these scenes, and he does it all through the film really, but he just allows the music and he just allows the visuals to convey the story and to convey the characters and the emotional depth that they're going through. And I think that that's absolutely fantastic whenever a director can really sink their teeth into the visual aspect of the medium that they're working in and just give you something.
Boom. Shake it up now. Boom. Shake it up now. Boom. Shake it up. Boom. Shake it up.
And give you something incredibly unique. And it is such a wonderful, absolutely amazing, fun time. I mean, like I said, when I sat down for it, I wasn't 100% sure what to expect. I do love Edgar Wright. I'm a huge fan of the films that Edgar Wright has made that I've seen. I haven't seen all of them like, you know, a lot of other people have, but I've seen, like, Shaun of the Dead is one of my fucking favorite movies
Nick,
ever. Hot Fuzz is a great fucking movie.
Didn't we do, I feel like we did a guest spot on a podcast over a year ago, a podcast no one talks about anymore. That's no longer a part of Potter and Family or something, because we did like a best trilogies of all time list, and none of us had the Cornetto trilogy on there. We got shit for it. That was a thing. I recall it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah. We did.
Oh, no, fuck those. They're not even worth a fucking name drop on our fucking show. They can go fuck themselves.
You all know who you are.
Yeah. I'm sure they don't listen to our show anymore either, but they can go fuck themselves. But yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic film, and I cannot say that enough. And I mean, I've developed something of a reputation, I would say, amongst our peers and amongst our listeners and everything, of having pretty extreme opinions. And as much as I go the other way sometimes in this film, I go 100% to the positive. I mean, it is that good, and it is that entertaining, and it is that enjoyable. See this fucking movie. You will not be disappointed. And Justin, roll us out.
Boom. Shake it up. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for our Baby Driver review. Thanks for everyone that stuck with us here on the show, and all those live streamers right there hanging out with us right now. Movie Pod Squad, what's up? But that was it. We all highly recommend seeing Edgar Wright's Baby Driver in theaters. This is the movie you take a chance to see in theaters this summer. Please do this. You will not regret it. You're going to have fun. You're going to be entertained. There's great action, great comedy, great love story, great characters. It's a colorful film. It is a perfect summer film. This is it. Go see Baby Driver in theaters this summer. But until then, we're going to be taking a few moments as a quick break on the show. And we'll be right back.
Boom. Shake it up. Boom.
Boom.
Save
Shake it up.
Audio. This is why I love not telling you anything about movies now. I love not giving you literally any kind of reaction whatsoever, because your reactions on the show are always so genuine now.
But dude, with you, like lately, I just feel like Nick's gonna hate everything. Nick hates everything. But even though I know
I don't see how a human being could hate this movie.
I agree.
But Brian,
I
shut up.
100% agree with that. LoySauce.
Admit it to Nick. Admit it to Nick right now, Brian. Say it to his face because you're on the live stream. He can see you. Admit it. You said as he walked out, Nick is gonna hate this movie. You said it. You did say
it's
it.
Not a stretch to say that I'm going to hate a movie, though, because especially this year, like
you did, though.
A lot of stuff has not knocked it out of the park for me. I've had a lot of reservations about a lot of films this year, but it's like I said, it's the use of music, it's the use of sound engineering, the use of sound design in this film. The car chases. You cannot possibly say enough amazing shit about the car chases in this fucking movie. They're so pulse pounding, so thrilling, so fucking action packed, and then the performances are all on point. Like literally, this movie has literally everything going for it. Literally everything. Even the negatives, like the positive stuff overweighs and overshadows it so much. You just do not give a fuck.
Well, Nick, it's like what I said. Like this movie has it all. Like if you're looking for action, it has action. If you're looking for humor, I laughed out loud, like belly laughed so many times during this movie. There's romance. It's really sweet and it's sexy and it's passionate. And it has, like, it gets scary. Like, you don't know if things are going to turn out okay for these characters. And it's suspenseful, and it embodies why we go to the movies.
Exactly. Someone in the live stream had mentioned the ending of the movie. I think it was Dan. Said that the ending didn't work as well for him. I probably wasn't like the hugest fan of the ending. Like I think they could have just ended it with him going to prison and left it up to your thoughts. But I didn't mind spelling it out and showing you what happens either, because it works for the story he was trying to tell.
It does, and I think we all need a happy ending. I mean, this film already exudes so much joy, but we sometimes we just need a good old-fashioned happy ending. And I think that's what the movie provides, and it makes you feel good when you're leaving the theater. It makes you feel like it leaves you on a high.
You remember LoySauce? I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending as we were leaving. I was like, oh man, I did like him driving away the way that he was on his way out, and it's like that classic old school 70s 80s action movie motif for the good guy does a lot of bad shit, he gets shit done, then he like drives off into the sunset or to the beautiful woods or whatever over a bridge like this movie. And I was like, oh, I just want to see him do that, but at the same time I'm like, oh shit, he went away for this shit. It still had the same impact on me 2-3 weeks later thinking about that, because of my personal my history, my personal past with getting into trouble, doing extreme things, and dealing with it and going away for a while. So overall, I feel like the whole movie from start to finish is perfect.
I thought we just got done saying that there isn't such a thing as a perfect film, Justin.
There is no such thing as a perfect film,
except for The Conjuring 2.
No. You don't understand.
There's no such thing as a perfect film in terms of technical aspect or in terms of like anything. There's always some flaw in every movie.
Except for The Conjuring 2.
When I rated,
there has to be a flaw.
When I rated movies, like, and like I said, I don't fucking rate movies anymore because I'm sick and tired of explaining my fucking rating system to people. But it basically boils down to, when I rated a movie 10 out of 10, whenever I would do that, does it amaze me and blow me away in every aspect, and does it so far exceed my expectations that like literally I'm watching like almost mouth agape in the cinema because I'm so fucking floored by it. Like that to me is a 10 out of 10 movie, and I don't care how technically imperfect it is.
Fair enough.
We're saying, what we're all in agreement on is that The Conjuring 2 is a perfect movie.
Nick hasn't ever seen The Conjuring 2.
I have not.
I love The Conjuring 2. But enough about the fucking Conjuring 2. That's the end of this segment, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, on the live stream as well. Thanks for sticking with us. We're going to head into a quick break here, and then we'll be right back. I stopped recording
like fucking 5 minutes ago. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is just extra shit for the live stream, guys.
Bonus features.
Why aren't they on here then? fucking bring them in then if they're going to be hanging out.
All right. So, yeah, everybody, like I said, I stopped recording when you did the first rollout. But yeah, we can. What do we have to close out the show? Anything?
LoySauce, think of something. I'm paying you for this. So.
No, you're not.
LoySauce, you're getting paid? Fuck.
Dude, Nick, by the way, I'm going to mention that poster. I'm going to sell them. Or give them out,
Spielberg?
Or give them out as gifts as part of the prizes, like with it.
Yeah, we
I
can put
print,
it on.
like,
we
good
can
quality.
do it through. Well, Redbubble does posters. I know that.
No, dude, I'm just gonna make them myself. I'm gonna go to the printer Danielle goes to through work, and then give them away.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Because I want to frame one actually.
I was busy. I was busy talking about the podcast that shall not be named over in the live stream.
I'm sure.
All right.
I don't remember them either. Actually, I really don't. But I remember like we did a segment on their show and that we recorded and.
Yeah, we
all they did is give
pre-recorded a
us a bunch
segment
of
for their
shit.
show. Yeah, we pre-recorded a segment for their show because they wouldn't have us on the show to actually like talk about it. But then like they just did nothing but bash us and like our picks for the top trilogies or whatever the entire time when they were listening to that. That's basically what we got.
Confirmed terrible people.
Yeah, and like it's just
I mean, it's not.
Assholes. I don't
That's
wanna
not to
waste
say that
fucking
Epic
time
Film guys aren't. That's not to say that Epic Film guys aren't terrible. I carried that Joker blade at the Mahoning Drive-In theater, remember, LoySauce, and I shoved it in people's faces during Batman Returns.
You shoved what in people's faces?
My Joker knife,
His
dude.
dick.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. But yeah.
My dick? Of course you are. You're always thinking about that.
True.
All right. Anybody needs to take a piss or a beer break, please do so.
I never need to take a piss. I had the bladder of a camel.
Nick, you're looking at this bottle. Tell me what I just drank.
Ooh. You drank the last of the Imperials.
That's right, I did.
The sugar beer, basically. I really wish that fucking thing would have
Dude,
fermented all
it's
the way.
super heavy though.
The triple
it makes
hopster
me want to go to
did.
sleep.
The triple hopster fucking fermented all the way, dude. Like you can smell. It smells sweet, like when you smell it. When I was pouring it off into the growlers, but then like when I tasted that sampler glass, like there's no sweetness in it. It's all fucking alcohol. It's so fucking strong. It's crazy.
That's what I want out of your beers, though. That's what I expect.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah. I guess we can roll back into the show. I've got some guest spots to announce.
And then, yeah.
I had initially planned to do Baby Driver as a mini-sode, but then we don't have anything else to really fill
Leave it in.
the episode.
Leave it as a
no, we will.
review.
We'll leave it in because there's nothing else to fill into the episode. And yes, I agree, LoySauce. Back to the Future and The Empire Strikes Back are also
as we're in the
perfect
live
films.
stream right now, and I know, Nick, you stay up late as hell, and I'm feeling like it too because it's the 4-day weekend for me. We're doing this awesome Spielberg challenge for July. Dude, so you're going to rewatch Jaws. When are you watching it?
I have no idea.
Hey, I'm
You know
asking
how
this
I am.
specifically
Like,
because
I'll end up fucking like falling way behind on it like I usually do with everything else.
No, but you have, dude, this is the one. You haven't watched it in years. You said it last year. And I know you haven't watched it since last year that we talked about it last summer on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely haven't.
So, I mean, this is it, man. This is the one movie that I want you to rewatch out of any movie because I would like to force you to watch movies that you don't
watch I've got to watch the movies in the challenge. I've actually never seen Close Encounters, so.
Are you serious?
No, I've never
Oh,
seen
man.
it.
Oh my God.
LoySauce, I saw you when we went to see that at Elmo Draft House before you worked there when I saw it in the theaters there. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, dude. It was the fucking Blu-ray, though. I'll tell you that much.
Sometimes the studio doesn't send us the hard drive and we have to use the Blu-ray. A lot of DCPs are sourced from the Blu-ray to begin with anyway, because that's the
I know what
latest
I'll be
transfer
seeing.
that they've done.
I know what I'll be seeing tomorrow at Alamo Draft House for Jaws will be the fucking 4K restoration that Spielberg already did for Universal.
It's the DCP.
Yeah, it's the DCP of that. I want to see it on 35 millimeter, or it doesn't look good enough. Go fuck
Oh
yourself.
my god, you're such a snob. Get over it. You're so spoiled at this point.
He is.
Isn't it good enough that we're showing it on the big screen and
We're gonna
showing
make
it?
you know, one of these days though, Brian, we're gonna get Epic Film Guy Nick to come down to Mahoning Drive-In and stay the night, or at least come fucking hang out and enjoy. He has to see this place, and it should be the film of his choice. So maybe next summer he can make it down. Maybe we can all just sit together and do a podcast from, you know, the concession stand.
Dude, I would love
That's why I
that.
bought the mixer. Well, that's why Emily got us the mixer, but that's why I wanted the mixer, and that's why I got these microphones, is to do live events and shit.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, absolutely. I would love to hang out with you again, the three of us. I think that'd be so rad. And Mahoning is the place to do it. I don't know if I mentioned before, but Mahoning just rocks my world. I love that place so much.
I love all the posters behind LoySauce. What do we got? We got Little Miss Sunshine, Fury Road, and Gravity that I can see. I can't see
Gravity. We've got
Nick,
Captain America, The Winter Soldier. We've got The Nightmare Before Christmas. We've got your favorite film, Pacific Rim. We've got...
Take
Rip
that
that
shit
fucking
down
thing
right now. Take it down now. Get off the show. Get off the show.
We've got Evil Dead. We've got a poster from my short film that I co-wrote, co-directed, Playthings, which I've already posted in the live stream. If anyone is wanting to watch that,
Yeah, you should be getting ready and preparing for the script you and Nick are going to write. #Vigilante. Get moving.
Vigilante. Is it the Vigilante or just Vigilante?
No, just Vigilante. That's it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
So,
Dave's mentioning they're still talking Spielberg movies over in the live stream, but Jaws handily took the #1 spot. Like, it was 20 votes ahead of...
It was so awesome, dude. That made me so excited.
Dude,
Seeing that poll.
Do you know why
Park.
Jaws? Do you know why Jaws took the #1?
Because it's amazing.
Because it's one of the greatest films ever made. That's why.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was not surprised. I knew Jaws would be in the top 5, and I had a pretty good inkling that it would take probably either #1 or #2.
You know,
but yeah,
I
it
gotta
got
say
like
this much,
75
though.
out of 100 votes.
The list in general, though, is basically what I expected. It was pretty simple. I didn't expect it to go...
I expected Private Ryan in there instead of Close Encounters.
Yeah, exactly. I expected Saving Private Ryan to take the Close Encounter spot.
LoySauce, you were expecting the Lost World Jurassic Park in there. I know you were.
Oh, did I say that Hook was Spielberg's worst film? I think actually The Lost World is his worst film.
I made sure to put...
LoySauce can't wait to watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull again for the Spielberg challenge.
I don't mind Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think 2/3 of it are great. The last third is a disappointment.
I don't hate it.
The rest of it, 2/3 of it is a great Indiana Jones film.
I don't mind it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I put it too. It's fine. I'm not saying that it's great or that it's really good or like you have to fucking own it in your collection, but it's fine.
I do own it in my collection.
So do I.
have
On
the
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. Harrison Ford's still good in it.
Harrison Ford's great
still
now.
alive. And he's getting paid at least a good couple mil for the new Blade Runner. Definitely.
Dude, I can't wait for that Blade Runner movie.
That's my most anticipated after Apes.
Yeah, I saw that trailer again when I went to see Baby Driver. Man, that fucking trailer. And I still haven't watched the original.
Doesn't it? It's okay, Nick. Honestly, I feel like Nick will probably definitely get the original. At this point in time, there's so many movies that have happened after the original Blade Runner, even though it can still be that one eye-opening movie. We've seen it done. Like so many movies have tried to redo, what Blade Runner got right. But I think you'll still really appreciate it. I think it's Ridley Scott's best movie that I love, at least, even above Alien.
The best thing about it is that Ridley Scott's not directing it, because if he was directing it, I would
the
not
new
be
one?
nearly as excited.
No, I'm saying
that's
the
what
original.
I'm saying, though. If he was directing it, I would not be nearly as excited for it. But
dude,
because
fuck
it's
me,
Denis
though.
Villeneuve, I'm super excited for
Dude,
it because
he's
it's
the
Villeneuve.
He's the reason why it's going to be awesome. Seriously, you get an auteur like Villeneuve to do that movie, and that's why it looks so great, dude. The behind the scenes stuff that we posted to the page about them talking about how they were going to do the shots, like they're like basically like, we know we're going to get a fucking Oscar nomination for this shit, but we really want to make it a certain way that we want it to look because we want it to look that way. Like they don't give a fuck. It looks so beautiful, and Ryan Gosling's in it. Ryan Gosling in a Blade Runner movie? Yes, please. Interacting with Harrison Ford? Yes, please. Especially Deckard? Yes, please. Thank God they didn't get Rutger Hauer to come back. If that's an after credit sequence, I'm leaving.
Isn't Rutger Hauer dead?
No, Rutger Hauer's not dead.
I thought he was dead.
No, he's alive.
You're alive. All right, let's.
Is he really alive though? Like
alive enough? His ass would get paid. He got paid for Hobo with a Shotgun like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So.
Oh my God! All right, let's all get up our audio here and start recording, and then we'll start with Justin. Whenever you're ready and recording, give me a sound check.
112 1112.
All right, LoySauce.
I'm loving on your headphones.
Check. Sound check.
It's even better than the sound clip. It's even better.
I'm gonna have to keep replacing it every time he's on the show because now he's just gonna keep trying to best.
Oh shit, dude.
He's gonna keep trying to best this one.
That's my drunk sound check.
Man, all right.
At Mahoning, I was like, LoySauce, how did you think of watching Batman Returns on the big screen in the drive-in on 35mm? And I heard.
All right, so let's go ahead and roll it back in here in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for sticking with us here and listening to the Epic Film Guys podcast. You guys are amazing, and we absolutely love you.
You rule.
Yeah. All right, now, Justin, before we roll it in the show, and we've really tapped out everything that we had to talk about tonight pretty early, so go us, I guess. Yeah. But, you know, there's a lot of things that we've got in motion here on the Epic Film Guys podcast. Our next segment break is going to be our featured actor for the month of July. We don't know yet who that's going to be. We added Dustin Hoffman to the list. That poll actually doesn't end until the day before the show goes live, so we're still pretty early in voting on that. So if you haven't voted, those of you on the live stream anyway, go ahead and, well, I'll have to repost that link, most certainly, and get that sucker back out there. But Justin, I've mentioned the past couple of weeks about iTunes reviews, okay, and we have gotten a few new iTunes reviews, which I'll go over here in just a moment, but we're like 30 reviews away from 100, okay? So what do you say we throw it out there to all of our fans, all of our listeners, everybody, if this is the first time you're checking out the show, or if you've been a long-time fan, a long-time listener, we're going to give you the keys, man. We're going to hand you the keys to the show. So here's what I mean by that, all right? Everybody that's reviewed us on iTunes, all right, once we get to 100 reviews, it's going to be a show of your choosing. You get the keys. You get to tell us what you want us to do, how you want us to do it, what movies you want us to watch for the show, if you want us to watch whatever movies, whatever the case may be. So absolutely get over there on iTunes, leave us that beautiful, that wonderful, that amazing, coveted 5-star review. And yeah, you get the keys to the show. We'll have a little bit more information on that coming up in the future. All right, just a few plugs here before we roll it on the show. First of all, as LoySauce said, check him out over on the George and Tony show. Our little LoySauce spreading his wings.
He gets out there. He gets around. I mean, he legit does get around.
He gets around.
So, I mean...
Yes, so it's going to be out the, I believe, July 17th. Actually, I'm looking at the text that George Hanna of the George and Tony Entertainment Show has sent me, and it's going to be out July 17th. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, like I said, shout out to George from the George and Tony Entertainment Show for having me on once again on the podcast. I very much appreciate it. It's always a good time. And I'm going to be giving my midterm report card of the films that have come out so far this year, my favorites and least favorites. So definitely look forward to that.
All right. And Justin, I know both you and I have 105 episodes in here, we've basically become pod whores. We show up on every show that wants us pretty much whenever we've got the time, whenever we've got the opportunity.
I'll do anyone. I'll do any podcast. I'll do you good.
We'll stick it to that first one. I'll do everything. I'll do everything.
Have me on. I'll do you real good.
So yeah, Justin,
I'll give you a good job.
Any guest appearances that you have recorded recently that you wanted to drop in here, let people know some of the other great places and the other great shows that you've been showing up on.
I don't know. Nothing. I've been on this show. Nothing special, actually.
All right. And, well, for my part, Super Movie Brother Dave is over in our live stream chat right now. You can catch me and John from the So and Technicolor podcast on their anniversary show coming up, where we did this really fun drinking game where we talked about movies that we love that everyone else hates. And if you also, if you hated the movie and other people loved it, they had to drink. And then they had to explain why they were a defender of it. So please check that out. And I believe it's actually already live now. Wes is over in the live stream. He'll have to correct me. But over on the Rabbit Ears podcast, myself and Justin from Sorry Married a Movie Geek actually joined Ashley over there to talk about Lost. And we were shocked and appalled that that Ashley hated Lost. Like we were just floored because we didn't know going in, and we thought we were going on the show to basically do a big Lost circle jerk, and kind of got thrown off guard with that. But please check that out. As soon as that is live, I will go ahead and make a link available for that as well. And meantime, guys, let me go ahead and in the meantime, guys, I just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to these people that gave us iTunes reviews. These were all back in the month of May.
Throw them out, man. Throw them out.
All right. So from Cool Breeze 23 said these guys are fantastic, knowledgeable, engaging, and funny, and they also really reach out to their listeners on social media. Great show. Give it a listen. Thank you very much. We will definitely continue to do that. Justin and I are both very, very active on social media, especially in that Hopster's Dumpster, our new Facebook fan group. Please jump in there because there's a lot of exclusive stuff in there that you can't get.
Hashtag the Hopster's Dumpster. What the fuck?
Oh, God.
Oh,
the microphone sounds really distorted again. That means move away from the fucking mic, Justin.
I'm sorry, dude. That just happened again.
Jesus
I think you ran in and raid out really quick.
All right, and from Fuzzy D from the Who Spiked the Puns podcast. Speaking of Who Spiked the Puns, what did we say the Who Spiked the Puns topic needs to be? Oh, Boss Baby Driver. That's right, Boss Baby Driver. That's a future episode of Who Spiked the Puns. They've got to do it now because we told them. With super skills of critical cinematic analysis, you want to believe that these guys were bitten by some sort of radioactive theatrical spider. Well, it's true. All of it. Just watch out for the Hopster. He doesn't play well with others. All right. And from John DeQuilla, a very, very good friend of mine that I went to college with back in my Clarion days, just said very simply, the GOAT of podcasts, the greatest of all time. So thank you very, very much, everybody, for those iTunes reviews. And like I said, yeah, the keys are yours, man. When we get 100 reviews, we're going to put it over in the Hopster's Dumpster. It'll be over in the listener community. You guys get to drive the show. Literally whatever you want. Doesn't matter what you want. If you just want to watch Justin projectile vomit all fucking week, that's fine. That's all you. Drop it in.
I may possibly puke right now. I mean, that's entirely possible.
You did drink the rest of that Imperial, so.
Gone. It's definitely, it's been gone, man. Yeah, why do you think I'm all,
All right. And well, we're going to roll out on the show here. And first things first, I want to give a shout out to our absolutely amazing sponsors, starting with the Netflix and Swill podcast, now a member of our brand new Podfix network. Yes, the Movie Pod Squad network is becoming the Podfix network at some point in the future. And I don't know when I'm supposed to talk about that or if or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it. But yeah,
wait, what is this now? Explain this, Nick, in detail.
Well, we're changing the name because the Movie Pod Squad was originally formed as a hashtag, kind of as a splinter off of Podern Family, as just movie podcasts that all used a shared hashtag. And then the few of us formed the network out of it. And there's been a lot of confusion as why am I not part of this, because I've been using the hashtag, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So to avoid confusion, we're changing the name of the network, and we're going to become the Podfix Network. So I don't give a fuck if it can't be talked about. I already talked about it on Ashley's show, too. I don't give a shit.
Nick, you talk about whatever the fuck you want,
That's
man.
right.
It's
I
a
do what I want.
show.
Hashtag I do what I want. But yeah, Netflix and Swill is already a part of that new network, as is the Shaken Not Nerd podcast, and another amazing show out of Australia. Duty and the guys, just absolutely fucking great. We love both of those shows. But like I said, our great sponsors, Dan and Caleb from Netflix and Swill, also up for Best Podcast in Pittsburgh right now. And I actually shared that link over on the Epic Film Guys Facebook page. Go vote. Please go and vote for Netflix and Swill for the best podcast in Pittsburgh. Show some love for those guys, and I think that'll definitely help to get those guys some exposure.
I did. I voted for them earlier. Yeah, so go show some love. Takes less than a minute.
All right. And, of course, Destruction in Human Form, Mr. Jared Taylor. We absolutely love you for Flash, or the Running Man, as Caleb told me to call him, Mr. Scott LeVar. Thank you very, very much. Our resident kaiju expert, Mr. Robert Moreno. Thank you very, very much. Emily from The Story Behind, with her little baby Cameron rocking that Epic Film Guys onesie. Thank you very, very much. And, Justin, last but most certainly not least, another Justin. Mr. Chrissy himself, the lover of all things fudge.
Shock Top
himself, Justin Winters from Sorry Media Movie Geek. Thank you, everybody. Thank you out there for sponsoring the show and continuing to let us do what we love to do. Justin, what do we got rolling up on the show next week? You're going to see a certain thwipped hero guy in tights.
Yeah, Spidey's making his way back onto the big screen, and from what I've heard, it's his best entry yet. We'll see. We'll be talking about it next week on the podcast. That's right. I'm honestly really excited for it, Nick. It's hard for me to kind of hold back the excitement. I mean, yes, I know Spidey's overdone. Yes, we've seen a lot of his films, but just feeling that energy in the room, it's like, oh man, Spidey's coming back, and Michael Keaton as the villain with the Vulture. We'll see. I'm excited to talk about it. LoySauce will be back. Oh yeah, I know. It's the kind that won't let you be hard. You just sit there and like, what? Why isn't it getting hard?
No.
Oh, it's Spider-Man. But I get it, though. We'll be talking about that next week. Director Brennick from Netflix and Swill will be on with L-L-L-LoySauce to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming. So be prepared for that. And no, the fist yourself. Goddamn sound drop will not be in it. Dan, record something Spider-Man related. That's just as bad or awesome. But yes.
Oh, my Lord. All right. So, yeah, it's absolutely going to be a fantastic time. And then, as I mentioned earlier in the show, we've got Paul coming on for an Apes retrospective and Super Movie Pod Squad, or a Podfix Network Megasode, talking about all things Christopher Nolan and reviewing Dunkirk, which is absolutely amazing. So, please. I lost my steam there. LoySauce, talk.
What?
What, Lorraine? What?
What, Lorraine? What, Lorraine?
What was it George Bird watching? What, Lorraine? What?
If I could play any role in a movie, it'd be George McFly.
So I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but the picture that we posted of Goji on our Facebook earlier. You see it?
Which one?
Oh, the one.
Oh yeah, yeah, adorable.
That's what I'm getting tattooed on me. That's the picture.
Go.
It's her perfectly. Go. The eyes glistening, the teeth sticking out, and her whiskers. And you know what she did today? I hooked her up to take her out to go to Starbucks with me. On the weekends, I get Starbucks. Just 2 days a week, Saturday and Sunday, I get my iced coffee. I hooked her up to our key holder. You both have seen it. It was on my wall at the townhouse, Nick, and it's on my wall here, Brian. You see it.
I see it, yeah.
I hooked her up to it, and then I went to go take the trash, pick the trash out of the trash and take it with us, and she flipped out, and her harness was fixed to that thing, and it ripped it off the wall, made a huge fucking scrape and holes all over it. She took that thing and it's like, and she ran with it basically.
Oh, Goji. I love her.
Go.
But that's the image, though. I have to. That's my next piece after getting Epic Film Guys on me. I'm getting Epic Film Guys on me soon.
Are you getting my face tattooed next to it?
You.
Like making like that face? That should be the face, like right there. Like
No more, no faces. I just want to get EFG.
Son of a bitch.
On my fingers and be like, EFG. Be like a gang sign.
Fingers like that.
EFG.
Oh my god. But yes, it's always a huge pleasure. It's always a huge pleasure when you come out and join us for the show, LoySauce. So first and foremost, let me thank you for being here and helping us talk all things Baby Driver. And see, I already knew that you two were going to review the film very positively. You guys didn't know what my reaction was, so it's always great to come in here and, just foist, like basically just do a huge circle jerk around a movie and spooge all over it, which is pretty much what we did in our review. So thank you for being here, LoySauce.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure as always. A B-side on Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is coming very soon.
Well, also, let our listeners know, LoySauce, what other big movie we're doing this summer for a B-side. A movie you're showing at Alamo Drafthouse in August.
Oh, yes. Well, it's the 30th anniversary of everyone's favorite film, Masters of the Universe. Starring Dolph Lundgren, which is, of course...
Dude, Frank Langella in that movie is one of the best villains of the 80s. Go fuck yourself. His Skeletor is amazing.
Oh, my God.
We're showing it at Alamo Drafthouse, right? It's happening.
Jesus.
There's going to be a B-side in connection to that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, my Lord. All right, well, look forward to B-side coming up soon on the show. Thank you very, very much, everybody who came out to listen and watch us on the live stream. And thank you very much, everybody, for listening. We love you guys. This is why we continue to do the things that we do. You guys are awesome. We're going to get the Hopester lined up and give you guys all drunken blowies behind the Ned Devine's bar. Show up at the Hopester's dumpster at about 3 o'clock in the morning with a half-eaten double cheese, and that's your ticket in, man. That is your ticket in.
Maybe even a quarter of Mr. Boston left. At least a quarter. Yeah, it's enough to get him happy. So,
all right, but yeah, thank you very, very much, everybody, for listening. Thank you guys, every single person out there who loves and supports this show. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I am Epic Film Guy Nick,
and I am Epic Film, Epic Film, Epic Film Guy Justin. Where's LoySauce? Did he die? He's dead.
And I'm LoySauce.
And he's...
And we...
And he's...
And we will see you at the movies.
Oh my God.
Shit show. Worst review ever.
Do we stop recording?
Yeah, we can stop recording now. We're good to go.
LoySauce is going to pass out in front of his mic. We'll be able to see him on the live stream sleeping.
No, I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake.
Then come over and let's...
those giant margaritas.
Brian, come over and we'll watch Night of the Creeps then. I'm serious. It's only one. You'll live.
Oh man, I feel glad that I feel good that I finally got those fucking prizes done. I kept forgetting about them like week after week after week.
No, but no shitting you though. The glass though, it was like.
Oh yeah, I always play the outro at the end. I gotta think of something to do with that other soundbite you sent me. I am thinking that'll be the new intro for B-Sides whenever you guys record another episode. It'll be a good use of it, I think. And Justin's gone. Justin, I think he just fell over his chair. The Epic Film Guys are a proud member of the Movie Pod Squad Network. Check out more amazing shows like the Countdown Movie and TV Reviews and So I Married a Movie Geek at MoviePodSquad.com. Yeah, I already broke the Podfix news on Ashley's show, but I was like, are we supposed to talk about this? And then I was like, I don't fucking care, and then I just did anyway.
So Nick, what is this now? I'm unaware of this. News to me. We're on a different network now? Seriously.
No, we're on the same network. It's just changing its name.
But you only mentioned a handful, maybe 3 other shows that...
I was mentioning the new shows that are in it. All the other shows are still in it, like Super Movie Brothers via VHS, Sorry Married a Movie Geek, Cult 45.
So basically, somebody got pissed off. So a few people got pissed off about the handle, and it had to be changed. That's what I'm getting.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure.
But yeah, I mean, so we're just rebranding. It's just going to be much easier. So we chose Podfix because we came down to in the end like the tagline, "Get your Podfix." Basically, that was what we came to.
How about Pod Beer? How about Pod Wasted? How about Pod Fucks I Give Her Zero?
I wanted us to be the Fuck the Goonies network, but I was voted down.
You dick! You son of a bitch! No, never.
Yeah, I was voted down. Nobody wanted anything to do with that. Oh my god! All right, well that was it. Good show. Show's over. Yes, Superman, it is over.
Oh, is that what that's from?
Oh, good for you.
I'm out too, bitch. I'm out of here. Get out.
Get out.
No, I cannot.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, friends.
All right, and that's, well, all right. So now you're just stuck. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Did I forget to put the Baby Driver image up the whole time we talked about Baby Driver? I think I did. Oops. Let's leave Netflix and Swill in the movie Pod Squad. We'll go do Podfix. Oh, my God. Dan, you up for some PUBG? More shade than we already throw at the Netflix and Swill podcast? Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
Fist yourself!
Good night, Jared. Good night, everybody in the live stream. Thank you all very, very much for being here. Dan, Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, I'm going to message you over on the Facebook group that we have. So, yeah. Peace out, guys. Thank you very much for being here for the stream.